are a number of Central Ohio teams that are out of the gate at 2-0, and two of them meet tonight here at our Toyota Friday Night Rivals matchup. Welcome to Dublin Jerome High School as the 2-0 Celtics, for the first time in their history, get set to play host to the Wildcats from Davidson, who also come calling with a mark of 2-0 entering tonight's matchup. Along with Jeff Logan, I'm Marty Bannister. We will hear from Kellyanne Stitz coming up here in a few moments as well. Jeff, I mentioned both these teams out of the gate at 2-0. Should be a fun one tonight.
Yeah, very special football teams with great coaches, great leadership on their team. Davidson has an incredible history, and it's about time these two great programs got together.
Jeremy Scally's offense for Hilliard Davidson, they love to run the football. They'll run, but it's the defense, one of the big reasons they're 2-0.
Yeah, Cade Wilson, number 32, plays that linebacker position. Back in October of last year, blew his knee out in a playoff game. The minute he could get back into the training room, get back into working, he got himself rehabbed. He could have gone earlier this year, but this is a kid that drives that defense.
For Brett Glass's Dublin Jerome Celtics, it all starts with the quarterback. He wears number 1 for a reason. He's Kyle White.
Yeah, Kyle is a Swiss Army knife. They needed the best athlete on the football team to plug him in at quarterback. Not a lot of experience there, but this young man has been responsible the first 2 weeks for 7 touchdowns.
It's 2-0 Dublin Jerome. It's 2-0 Hilliard Davidson. The fans are juiced up. We're ready for it. It's the Toyota Friday Night Rivals matchup, and it comes up next on the CW Columbus.
Hi, I'm Jim Ganal. Can you believe it is this nice for high school football Friday night? On our Friday Night Rivals game, it is Hilliard Davidson at Dublin Jerome. And what a perfect night. 80 degrees at 7 o'clock tonight, 74 at 9, it's dark by then, 68, and the beautiful moon will be up and shining by 11 o'clock.
And a great night for high school football, no doubt. Thank you, Jim Ganal. We close in on kick tonight. Hilliard Davidson and Dublin Jerome tonight here at Dublin Jerome High School. Let's go down to the sidelines. The third member of our broadcast crew is Kellyanne Stitz.
Hey, Marty, Jeff, as you two highlighted before, this is the first ever meeting between these two programs on the gridiron tonight, and what an exciting way to kick off this matchup. Both teams are 2-0. The schools are close in proximity. Only about 7 miles separate these two schools. And while the programs already have enough rivals as it is, gentlemen, we could see the budding of a new one tonight. I talked to Jerome's AD, and he mentioned that this is a 2-game series, so this will be played again at Hilliard next year, but they're hoping to continue this series into the future, guys.
All right, Killian, thanks very much. Hilliard Lawn and Garden, the proud sponsor of tonight's coin toss. Dublin Jerome won the coin toss this evening, and they have elected to defer. They will kick the football away as we get ready for high school football. Hard to believe we're at week number 3 of the high school football season. Tonight's kickoff is sponsored by MakeItMakeSense.org. Scan the QR code on the screen to get youths and adults the help they need to quit smoking and vaping. There you see the coin toss, again brought to you by Hilliard Lawn and Garden. And the Dublin Jerome Celtics will kick the football away to get this one started tonight. Both have been impressive coming out of the gate at 2-0. And as Kellyanne Stitz mentioned a moment ago, the first game in a 2-game series, I think this has the opportunity, Jeff, to become a pretty good-sized rivalry between these two.
I agree with you. I think that these schools have natural rivals in their own communities. But you look at the ability for both of these two football teams, and it's great that they're both coming into tonight undefeated in this game. Hilliard Davidson will receive, as you mentioned, Marty, and they want to run the football.
He's one of the best. He's Carter Holden, and he'll kick the football away for Dublin Jerome, and the kick will sail into and out of the end zone. That young man has a heck of a leg. He could play a big factor in this one as this game rolls along here this evening. The run-oriented Hilliard Davidson offense will come onto the field to get this one started here tonight at Dublin Jerome High School. The Wildcats are 2-0 under the guidance of head coach Jeremy Scally. And Jeff Logan, I know you love this. They will run the football, then they'll run the football, and just in case you missed one of those runs, they're going to run it again.
Yeah, they don't hide what they do, and this is a better, more complete offensive football team than they've ever had maybe at Hilliard Davidson, but still the maintenance of running the football is number one.
And those are not quarter numbers, those are season numbers for Johnny DeBlasio. He's thrown the ball all of 7 times this season. Hilliard Davidson to get the game underway, and they'll hand it off right away to the back they call the bowling ball, Kevin Gibbon, a 5'8", 225-pound junior, and a short gain, line of scrimmage to get this one started at the 20-yard line. And here is the Hilliard Davidson offense. Our starting lineups are sponsored by the University of Toledo. With more than 270 degree programs, the University of Toledo can help you find the right path. Explore more at utoledo.com. That offensive line is so very big for a Davidson team that loves to run the football. As we mentioned, Luke Sparkman in the middle, and Alan Blackley and Sebastian Stewart are a couple of good ones at the tackle spots as well, too, for Jeremy Scally's offense. As they come to the line of scrimmage, facing a 2nd down and 8, and DeBlasio will throw the football to the far side, and the catch by Mickey Clark, who's their leading receiver. That's just his 3rd catch of the season, oh, by the way. And it is close to a 1st down far side. Short gain there. Here is the Celtics defense that will try and slow down this Hilliard Davidson offense. They've got some good ones back there, including at one of the corner spots in this game tonight, Arinze Ezra, a 6'2", 185-pound senior who the Dublin Jerome coaches say is a lockdown corner. He has 2 older brothers who are already playing Division I football. 3rd down and 3 upcoming for Davidson. They will eye the backfield. DeBlasio will hand it off. This is Gibbon powering his way ahead for the 1st down. The line of scrimmage was the 28, and Gibbon falls out across to the 33. A pick up a 5, and our first down of the night belongs to the Hilliard Davidson offense.
Israel come up from that field corner position to make the tackle on the play, but look at the push by the offensive line. Really good job of controlling the line of scrimmage. And as you mentioned, Kevin Gibbon, the bowling ball-like running back, he doesn't give you much to hold on to. 5'8", 225 pounds.
Entered the day with 232 yards on 26 totes of the football through the first couple of games. And no scrimmage, 1st down and 10. The ball at their own 33-yard line. We're just underway, and just a glorious night for high school football, week number 3. Gibbon again the carry out to the 35-yard line. Gibbon, 5'8", 225-pound junior. They will run a number of different backs in on this offense. Gibbon will get the majority of the carries, but we'll keep an eye when he comes onto the field. Number 30 is Dane Schmidt, a 5'11", 184-pound sophomore. While they like to pound the football, Jeff, Dane Schmidt is the guy who has separation in the backfield.
Absolutely, and he's just a young football player, just a sophomore on this team. Been a real big surprise for them. They've got 2 other Schmidts on the team, oh, by the way, twin seniors that are leaders of this football football team, but young brother Dane Schmidt is a really good running back.
They have two wide split to the far side. De Blasio will work out of the shotgun. They'll put James Tarantine in motion. And they'll hand off inside. This is Gibbon again. Nothing fancy again here early on. And Gibbon manages to muscle his way out across the 35 to the 38. Another short gain, a pickup of about 3 for Gibbon. That'll bring up another third down. Jeff, the real danger of this offense is they can start you and put a defense on its heels and make this game go downhill, and that's what they want to do.
Well, their goal is just continue to control the clock, keep these drives alive. And you do the math on it, 3 to 4 yards a try gets you a first down. Just continue to pound that ball inside. Now, this is a little bit of an uncomfortable down and distance. Third and a long 4.5, maybe 5 yards.
Backs on either side of the quarterback on 3rd down and 5, and de Blasio will stick the ball in the belly of Gibbon. He reverses field and tries to cut back across the 40 and is brought down shy of the first down. Good job by the Dublin Jerome defense. They had good penetration that time. Thomas Leonard, a free safety, was over there to help on the tackle. This will bring up a 4th and short, Jeff.
Yeah, this will be one of the first key plays. This is a little bit unusual for Hilliard Davidson to take the ball and run sideline to sideline before getting upfield. That took a lot of play to develop, and the Dublin Jerome defense has stopped them on the first drive of the game, forcing a punt formation.
Andrew Lewis will come on to kick the football away. Lewis averages 28 yards a kick, I should say. His long is 40.
Now we've got a timeout.
Hilliard Davidson, their first charge timeout of the half.
Hilliard Davidson will burn a timeout before they kick the football away. There's John McKenna. Let's check the keys to tonight's matchup for both of these teams as we get ready for this matchup on our Toyota Friday Night Rivals. And Jeff, again, we talked about running the football, and that's the key for Davidson.
Absolutely. Just 7 passes in the first 2 games for them, Marty, as you mentioned.
And for the Celtics of Dublin Jerome, certainly they want to keep that offense off the field. And to do that, Jeff, they've got to be strong up front.
Well, they've shown here the first drive. They put them in a 4th and 1 situation, but an immediate timeout there by head coach Jeremy Scally. And I'm wondering if they're over there noodling a little bit about challenging their defense if we don't get the first down. But I think Hilliard Davidson football is all about we can get a first down 1 yard anytime we want it.
They picked up a first down a moment ago, a Buckeye State Bank first down. Buckeye State Bank, together we win. So we'll see what they do here. Maybe this changed the mindset a little bit in an area that most might think 4th down territory, and they will send the offense back onto the field right now. They will stack the backfield.
Triple I formation.
De Blasio will operate over center. 4th down and very short, 4th down and 1. Maybe they're trying to get him to jump off. No, they will snap the ball, hand off to Gibbon, and he has the first down and a little more for the effort. And is knocked down out near the 48-yard line. So a gain of a half dozen and a first down for Davidson. The offense stays right on the field.
I think trotting that punt team out there was just window dressing, Marty.
I think so.
Look at the push again by the offensive line. You got 3 guys in the backfield. The first 2 are going to be blocking up front, and again, give the ball to your big running back, Kevin Gibbon, able to pick up the first down.
Good block by Marcus Allen, who had lined up in the backfield as well, too, Jeff, with a tripled that eye behind quarterback Johnny De Blasio. So the Davidson drive continues. Wildcats won their opener. They pounded Columbus West by the score of 56-0. And then for the 10th consecutive time, beat Grove City last week. Inside carry and another game close to a first down. That was the quarterback, Johnny De Blasio, getting into Jerome territory to the 44-yard line.
De Blasio only 5 rushes coming into tonight's game, but 2 of them for touchdowns. Second-year starter, got a chance to catch his act a year ago, and he certainly has developed. There you see his rushing attacks on the season so far. Not many attempts, but you got to like the average per try.
That's a first down looking for a place to happen, that yardage average, isn't it? 7.5 to go, quarter number 1. Hilliard Davidson converted a 4th down and short, and the drive stays alive. Inside Gibbon, tripped up, but manages to keep his balance and fall ahead. Blasting through was Cale Huck, coming in from that strong safety spot, went low on Gibbon and tripped him up enough to allow him to slow down and allow help to arrive. He gets out to the 41. It is, though, good enough for another first down, another Buckeye State Bank first down. Buckeye State Bank, together we win.
If you're going to take on this running attack, one of the things you have to do is walk those corners up. And Cale Hawk, the young man who plays that strong safety, number 6, came in there to try and make the play, but still enough for the first down.
Jeff, they like him a lot, Cale Hawk, at that strong safety spot. Davidson on the move. De Blasio with Gibbon off to his left. Good crowd on hand here tonight at Jerome for this first ever matchup between these OCC rivals. Gibbon breaks out of a tackle, and there he goes. To the 20, he's to the 15, he's to the 10, and is finally gang tackled and shoved out of bounds. A little extra burst by the bowling ball, who was scattering pins as he rolled down the near side sideline.
Again,
and has a first down.
There's nothing to grab onto there. I mean, he's just a mass of humanity. Watch again from right in your living room, coming right at you. And look, he just keeps those legs going. Shoulder pads are low. And big old number 21, Kevin Gibbon, finally runs out of gas right down about the 10-yard line.
A nice gain of 30 for Gibbon to the 10-yard line, where it's 1st and goal upcoming for the Hilliard Davidson offense. Again, go back to that 4th down conversion. It was Gibbon who converted there, and it keeps the drive alive. De Blasio takes the snap, gives to Gibbon, stumbles, falls, and gets inside the 10 to the 5, where it'll be a 2nd down and goal upcoming.
Really good block by the center, Luke Sparkman, right there in the middle. He's a 6'1", 234-pound senior. Pancaked his guy over the middle, and that defensive line is a good one for Dublin Jerome. Brady Fowler in there to defensive tackle, and Rithwig Chugwani, number 70, a 6', 235-pound junior, will line up a lot of times, just nose up on that center.
Jason Van, who's handling our stats, and tells us that Kevin Gibbon's already rushed for 60 yards here in this first quarter. He lines off again to the left of the quarterback, De Blasio, and again it will be Gibbon. And this time they have him zeroed in. A lot of guys wearing green and gold around number 21. At the bottom of that pile was Cole Sainholtz, the 6'3", 195-pound senior weak side safety. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and goal. He picked up 1. The ball's at 4.
Now, this is a classic Hilliard Davidson drive. For years, they have done nothing but what you're witnessing here at the beginning of the game. Just continue to dominate, manage the clock situation. We've got 10 minutes and a few seconds left here 5 minutes and a few seconds left here in quarter number 1. And Dublin Jerome yet to touch the football.
Harkens back to the Brian White days when he was the head coach at Davidson. He's the one who kind of turned this program around. They have won a couple of state championships as well. Fake, De Blasio rolls and will look to throw into the end zone and has a receiver, and it's a touchdown. Into the end zone, Drew Remlinger, the tight end, snuck free in the back of the end zone, and De Blasio, that little play fake, Jeff, froze the defense and found him open in the end zone for the touchdown. That's another Ramos roofing touchdown. Get your free estimate on a roof by calling or texting 614-761-ROOF.
How about that? 5 out of 7 passing on the season coming into the game. They finally find the opportunity, had 2 receivers open. And again, what you don't expect Hilliard Davidson to do when they end up doing it, ends up beating you in the end zone throwing the football.
3rd touchdown pass of the season for the junior, Johnny De Blasio. Despite the fact it's a run-oriented offense, head coach Jeremy Scally says he would be a good quarterback in any system. Andrew Lewis, who was perfect on the season, the snap bounces back to the holder, and the holder will just try to turn and run up with the football, and Dublin Jerome had that covered. The holder was Drake Conrad, and the ball bounced back to him on a couple of hops. And the extra point attempt is no good, and that's where we stand at the 4:49 mark of quarter number 1. Hilliard Davidson does what Hilliard Davidson does best. They run the football down the field, but they cross them up with a touchdown pass. Davidson has the first points of the night. Our Toyota Friday Night Rivals continues.
Toyota's national sales event is on. Make the most of summer with a new Toyota.
We want the Great Tacoma.
Great Tacoma coming in hot.
On it! Highlander Hybrid.
Highlander Hybrid on the double hang.
Here we go.
That Red RAV4.
Run a red RAV4.
Hit the deck.
Now that's how you holler.
Make some off-road memories in a legendary new 4Runner or the best-selling Tacoma, which you can get with 3.99 APR financing plus 2 years no-cost maintenance.
Come in today.
Toyota, let's go places.
If you wanted to know what a Hilliard Davidson offensive drive looks like, we'll just run that back, what we just saw in the last 5.5 minutes. A little more than 5.5 minutes. 7 minutes, 11 seconds. Maybe it just felt like 5 minutes, but 7 minutes, 11 seconds. The scoring summary brought to you by Alcohol, Drug, and Mental Health Board of Franklin County. Andrew Lewis will get set to boot the football away for the Davidson Wildcats. Braden Alford and C.J. Infante are the deep backs, and this will be Alford going over to look at that kick that sails into the end zone and out. And the Dublin Jerome offense will get its first crack with the football with the first quarter over halfway done.
2 pretty significant football families back there in the receiving area. Lindy Infante's grandson, C.J., was back there along with Braden Alford, who's Tony Alford, the coach at Ohio State.
There's that Dublin Jerome offense That offensive line, head coach Jeremy Scally of Davidson said that Jerome offensive line reminds him of the Cincinnati Bengals offensive line. I was going to get that in at some point. I couldn't pass on that. Here's Kyle White to throw, flares it to the far side, and the pass is caught, and this would be a short gain. As coming up with the reception for Davidson was the tight end, or for Jerome rather, was the tight end Aiden Lowry. There's that Davidson defense. We talked a lot about Caden Wilson, but also watch on one of those end spots, number 2, Turner Schmidt, a 6'4", 220-pound senior who has 7 tackles and a sack this year. Returned a fumble last week, Jeff Logan, 64 yards to set up a 1st and goal against Grove City. Kyle White, 6'1", 185-pound senior. They hand it off, trying to swing to the outside is Braden Alford. Line of scrimmage, the 23.
Marcus Allen, number 33, coming over to make that tackle from the linebacker position, middle linebacker. New starter for his football team this year. But watch 33. This is a pass play because he flipped it forward. But there's 33 just reading the play all the way across as Braden Alford gets them to a position where they've got 3rd and 4.
12th catch of the season for Alford. As Jeff mentioned, his dad, Tony, Ohio State's running backs coach. He's a little busy tonight. Buckeyes are over in Bloomington, Indiana, getting ready for the season to start with the Indiana Hoosiers tomorrow. Out of the shotgun is White to throw, goes far side and has a receiver, and the pass is caught, and that will be a 1st down as they were able to flare it out to the far side. And the Celtics pick up a 1st down as Zach Thomas, a 6'2", 180-pound senior, makes his 4th catch of the season, and it's good enough for a 1st down. Another Buckeye State Bank 1st down. Buckeye State Bank. Together, we win.
Boy, critical 1st down that time for Dublin Jerome. What they don't want to do is turn that ball over to what I will call the ball hogs of Davidson.
Pick up of 7. Back to throw as White rolls, flares it to the near side and at the feet of Aiden Lowry, who was open, but there was big pressure on Kyle White as he was rolling to throw. He was being chased as right in his face was defensive end Hayden Buckley, a 6'1 junior.
Yeah, Buckley pretty active there, did a good job of reading the quarterback's eyes and didn't take the fake up inside, got in between him and the receiver, and just really no route for quarterback Kyle White to be able to throw the football.
Jerome last week won at Reynoldsburg 31-13. Reynoldsburg did like Davidson did, went right down the field and scored, and the Celtics found themselves behind 7-0 in that game, but they got the engine rolling offensively and rolled to a 31-13 victory. That after week number 1, where they jumped out to a 30-0 lead, Jeff, against a team that has had a lot of success the last few years, Westerville South.
Yeah, we were shocked by that when we were doing our week 1 to see the score that was going on in that game. Of course, every season is new. You don't know how these teams are going to develop, but we did know that Westerville South had some really good, skilled athletes, yet Jerome dominated in that football game.
Led 30-0 in that game. Pick up of a couple. It's a 3rd down and 8 call upcoming as we near the 3-minute mark of quarter number 1 with Davidson on top. Here's White back to throw. Has all kinds of time in the pocket. Now will tuck the football and run, and he will not make the 1st down. In fact, he is shoved back. Line of scrimmage was the 34. He might have picked up a couple out to the 36. Great pressure that time. Linebacker Marcus Allen there leading the charge. Also there was one of our stars to watch tonight, Caden Wilson. 33 and 32 combined on the stop. Helped out by Connor Bowen.
Absolutely. Good job. And you mentioned a lot of names, a lot of numbers down there. Marty, that's what signifies what this defense is all about. They like to team tackle. A lot of that emphasis goes on the offense. But, man, this defense for Hilliard Davidson is something special.
Mickey Clark is back deep to receive the punt of Carter Holden, who averages 41 yards a kick. Good spiraling kick here. Holden will boot this one, and Clark will signal for a fair catch at the 25. 2:12 to go, quarter number 1. Good start to this one tonight. 2 unbeatens going at it. Davidson with a 6-0 lead on Jerome.
Stats on.
Thanks to Kroger Great Lakes Distribution Center, tonight's game is streaming live on the ABC6 YouTube channel, the ABC6 News app, and on the CWColumbus.com. Great to have you with us here in Dublin Jerome. Jeff Logan wore his Hawaiian shirt to the game tonight, but they made him change prior to going on air this evening. That was a nice look for you, by the way.
I thought we were going to have a luau down there beforehand. I was looking for that pig.
First down and 10 for Hilliard Davidson. The Wildcats on top 6-0. As quarterback Johnny DeBlasio leads them to the line of scrimmage. 6'1", 165-pound junior. Last week against Grove City, he was perfect throwing the football, 3 for 3 for 92 yards, and had a 75-yard touchdown run as well. Here's Kevin Gibbon with the call. Line of scrimmage the 20, and Gibbon out across the 20 for the short gain. Coming up at the half, it's the greatest show of mascot athleticism you need to see to believe. Yes, it's the Safe Light Auto Glass Mascot Challenge involving beloved furry friends who will be vying for the title of Mascot Champion. Stay with us at the half for that. You will not want to miss it. Second down and 7 upcoming for Davidson. Wildcats members of the Ohio Capital Conference Central Division. They are, of course, a Division I school in region number 3. Here's Gibbon again, and he just plows out across the 25, close to the 30-yard line to the 28. It'll be just shy of a first down. It'll set up a third down and short. Dublin Jerome, they are in the OCC Cardinal, a Division I team, but they reside in region 2 of the Division I computer rankings.
That running play there, run right over the left guard, Abe Swathwood, just a sophomore, number 67, 6'1", 262. Now, let me tell you something. His mom and dad are something special. Both of them world-class shot putters and hammer throwers. One at Ohio State, one at Purdue. This young man, you're going to hear about this young man in the future, hopefully on the football field, but also track and field.
Third down and short for Davidson to go inside Gibbon. The first down and more, and he falls out across the 35 as he again just rumbles right up the middle of the field. And that's another Buckeye State Bank first down. Buckeye State Bank, together we win. First down for the Hilliard Davidson offense. There's no need to wait to get the score of your favorite high school team. First scores come your way on Fox 28, sponsored by Columbus State Community College. They have you covered. Tonight, starting at 10 o'clock, first scores on Fox 28. And that's where everybody should go to find out what has happened tonight in high school football. This busy week number 3. Week 3, Jeff.
I know.
It's staggering, isn't it?
It is scary. Ohio State yet to play a game. They'll play tomorrow, as you mentioned, at Bloomington against the Indiana Hoosiers. Rhymes with losers. Just for the record.
Here's Clark taking the handoff, trying to find some room on the far side, and is brought down shy of the marker far side at the 47-yard line. In case you were curious, Jeff was a running back at Ohio State.
Yes.
There is a flag on the play right now. Our referee is John McKenna, and he will tell us what the flag is on the play, which is sponsored by the U.S. Army.
Holding on the offense. Number 7, 10-yard penalty. Take first down.
Thank you, Mr. McKenna. 9 seconds left in the quarter. That wiped out a nice gain by Clark in that little end around. And that will push the Wildcats back. Good look at the Davidson offense with the script Davidson on either side of the helmet. They used to have that big blue paw on either side of their helmets, but have switched up with script Davidson now. We're through one period of play tonight here at Dublin Jerome. The first ever meeting in football between these two nearby rivals. Jerome with the 6-0 deficit as Davidson has the advantage. Kevin Gibbon, the big first quarter. Davidson leads Jerome after 1. It's our Toyota Friday Night Rivals. Back along with Jeff Logan and Kellyanne Stitz, our entire CW Columbus broadcast crew, our crack producer Dean Marini, and our entire staff. I'm Marty Bannister, and we are so very glad you are spending week number 3 of the high school football season with us here on the CW Columbus. It's a good one. A pair of 2-0 teams have tangled through 12 minutes of play. Dublin Jerome and Hilliard Davidson going at it. We knew Hilliard Davidson would run the football. Jeff Logan, Kevin Gibbon has been the go-to guy.
You know, it's interesting. He came in after the first 2 weeks, averaging 13 carries in a ball game for 116. Already 13 carries so far.
And here's a pass play as de Blasio goes to the far side and finds his favorite receiver, Mickey Clark, for the catch. It was a 2nd and 13. It will still be shy of the first down. The ball out to the 40-yard line. And a 3rd down call upcoming. Now, I'm sorry, a 2nd down call upcoming for this Davidson offense after the penalty on the holding call pushed them back.
You know, what would seem like an obvious passing down for this football team, there's still 90% chance they're going to run the ball here.
They averaged just 53 yards through the air, 306 on the ground. And here's Gibbon. Again, just pushing the pile as he falls across the 45 out to the 46 to the sidelines. And we visit with Kellyanne Stitz.
Hey, Jeff and Marty, I want to highlight one of Hilliard Davidson's members of their football team, A.J. Glover. And while he's not physically here, his presence is felt on the football field tonight and within the team. A.J. was diagnosed with a brain tumor his freshman year and unexpectedly passed away shortly after. A.J. is a part of the current senior class. He has a locker in their locker room with a stuffed animal buffalo tied with his foundation. The team wears a decal on their helmet in his honor. This group is not only hashtag playing for A.J., but living for A.J. The family started a foundation in his honor, including scholarships available to students in all 3 Hilliard schools. Guys.
Kellyanne, great story. He is such a big part of this Hilliard Davidson family. Gibbon, the ball carrier, out towards the first down marker, and looks like it is good enough. It is, and that's a Bowling Green State University. First down here in quarter number 2, and that just shows you the impact and the family atmosphere that high school football teams can generate, and keeping A.J. Glover in their memory. And as Kelly mentioned, a great part of this too, Jeff, he still has a locker at Davidson.
Yeah, no question. And this would have been his senior class. I mean, these are the guys that, you know, they grew up together. They knew one another. This was really an impactful thing for this football team back 4 years ago when they lost him as a freshman. And it's great to see that they continue to honor A.J. Glover, and his foundation will continue to deliver.
A couple of minutes into quarter number 2, and we're going to have a timeout by Hilliard Davidson with 10:02 to go here in this quarter. And we will step aside. 6-0, Hilliard Davidson with the lead on Dublin Jerome. It's Toyota's Friday Night Rivals.
Toyota's national sales event is on. Make the most of summer with a new Toyota.
We want the Great Tacoma.
Great Tacoma coming in hot.
On it! Highlander Hybrid.
Highlander Hybrid on the double hang.
Here we go.
That Red RAV4.
Run a red RAV4.
Hit the deck.
Now that's how you holler.
Make some legendary memories in the powerful and efficient new Sequoia, or the biggest, most capable Tundra ever, with the best resale value, plus 2 years no-cost maintenance.
Come in today.
Toyota, let's go places.
6-0, Hilliard Davidson with the lead. As the timeout called by Davidson here, a couple of minutes into this quarter, you see the Dublin Jerome Celtics breaking the huddle around their head coach, Brett Glass. You talk about success. He has had a great run as a high school football coach. 76-25. That's not too shabby in his 10th year overall as a head coach. Spent 7 years coaching at his alma mater, Jonathan Alder. Guided them to the playoffs 5 times. They had a couple of unbeaten seasons, but could not turn down the opportunity to come coach at this program. I remember talking to him a number of times. Here's de Blasio breaking free and gets to the 30, to the 25, to the 20, and it's a first down scramble for the quarterback, Johnny de Blasio, who went 75 yards for a touchdown last week, and a big gainer there, and a first down for Hilliard Davidson, a Bowling Green State University first down.
Well, you mentioned the 2 touchdowns, and look at the fake right up the middle. What a great job of faking in the middle. The running back being tackled by 2 or 3 players, and Johnny de Blasio pulls the ball, takes it right up the middle. Coming into tonight's game, averaging nearly 22 yards a try from that quarterback spot.
Carried to the 21-yard line, 29 on the gain, and he just shot straight up the middle on that and picked up that first down. Handoff inside. Here's Dane Schmidt's first carry of the night. And the 5'11", 184-pound sophomore lowers his head and gets inside the 20 to the 17-yard line. One of 3 Schmidt brothers on this team that all play significant minutes for Hilliard Davidson. And he is the youngest of the 3, a sophomore.
Not bad averages there.
Yeah,
look at two touchdowns on the season, and that's your backup. Young sophomore, got a great future for Hilliard Davidson.
2nd down and 5 after the 5-yard pickup, and it's Gibbon inside this time, and the Davidson offense unable to clear room for the 5'8", 225-pound junior running back. Good job up front by that Jerome defensive line. We talked in the open, there's Noah Ryan, who was one of the first in on the stop for the Celtics. Jeff, we talked about how they have to control the line of scrimmage in this game to keep from happening what is happening right now.
Boy, this is unfair. They need to throw another football out on the field so they got one to play with at Jerome. I mean, right now, there is no chance Jerome can put themselves in this football game without possessions.
It's funny how that works, isn't it?
Yeah.
8:13 to go in the quarter. Davidson driving again. De Blasio hands off inside, and here's Gibbon again, just bullying his way ahead across the 15-yard line to the 12. It is close to a first down. It's going to be a 4th down and short call coming up here, and we'll see what Jeremy Scalley's mindset is here.
Look at that offensive line again. Pulling on the play was Abe Swathwood, did a good job up there. Created a situation 4th and 1, and again, this is right in the wheelhouse of what Hilliard Davidson likes to do, and here's that trips I formation again.
They've already converted on 1 4th and short that kept the drive alive and resulted in a touchdown. Gibbon got the call and the first down the last time, and they will give the ball to Gibbon again, and he has the first down again and tries to stiff arm a man out of the way and picks up the first down, and there's a flag. I thought that was coming.
Yep.
A little extra shove after he was clearly out of bounds. So that's going to add to the gain by Gibbon, but he did pick up the first down as he carried inside the 10-yard line.
You can see the frustration over there for Jerome, knowing that they'd given up the first down and extracurricular out on the track. And boy, what a night Kevin Gibbon is off to. Here's the call.
This penalty brought to you by the U.S. Army.
The result of the play is a first down. We have a dead ball penalty, late hit out of bounds, personal foul on the defense number 9. Half the distance to goal. First down.
And you'll see Gibbon pick up the first down, Jeff, and then a little more afterwards.
Got the corner using that stiff arm, and this is totally uncalled for. You know, just losing your composure out there. You can tell the frustration, though. It's a very well-coached football team, Dublin Jerome, but there are moments where you just kind of have those things you wish you could have back.
It's a 1st and goal now at the Jerome 3. Davidson driving, looking for more, and there's movement across the line.
Yeah, the left tackle moved. Alan Blakely
on the offense.
Just flinched a little bit over there.
First down.
So that will push the football back out to the 8-yard line. Week number 3 of the high school football season. Brett Glass's team winning its first 2 games. They did that last year as well, too. Went out of the gate at 2-0. In fact, they won their first 6 games last year before losing to Marysville. They have an enormous one next week. Jeremy Scalley's football team also won their first 2 games last year, then dropped 3 in a row. And Coach Scalley, we'll talk about it a little bit more as we go on this season, but it kind of forced him to press the reboot button at Hilliard Davidson. We'll tell you more about that as we go on. Here's de Blasio keeping the football himself, the quarterback. A short gain to the 6.
Good read by defensive tackle Brady Fowler there, just the number 52, 6'1", 200-pound senior. Read the play perfectly, went right down the line of scrimmage, was able to pick up quarterback Johnny de Blasio trying to rip that ball up the gut. There's Brady's numbers. Good senior football player.
Those defensive ends are asked to do a lot in this Jerome defensive setup. They go out of that 4 look, 4-3 if you will. How they line up their linebackers. And the defensive ends, Fowler and Albright, they are the keys to what happens up front. They'll hand to Clark coming to the near side. Tries to get to the edge. There's a flag down. Clark is down. They tried that little pop pass again as Clark came in motion, but the penalty flag thrown at about the 7-yard line.
Thomas Leonard, the free safety, coming up to make the play. Number 3, leads the team, tied for number 1 in tackles. Here's the call.
Flag on the play, sponsored by the U.S. Army.
Well, Jerome hanging in. They don't have the football, but obviously the mistakes right now by Hilliard Davidson putting them in an uncomfortable position. Nicky Clark trying to turn the corner, and look how quickly the pressure came up from the free safety, Thomas Leonard.
We are at the almost 6-minute mark of quarter number 2, Jeff, and you see Dublin Jerome, their defense. Their offense has been on the field for just one possession. As you said, kind of hard to win a football game like that.
Tough without the ball.
Second down and goal from the 11, and de Blasio will throw, looks into the end zone, and has his man Remlinger again was open for the touchdown. The 6'2", 215-pound junior cut right across the hash marks and rolls into the end zone, caught the pass for the score from 11 yards out. Another Ramos roofing touchdown. Get your free estimate, Jeff, on a roof by calling or texting 614-761-ROOF.
Thank you, Marty. And I'll tell you what, you can get lulled to sleep with this running game, and de Blasio comes out on time, on target, right over the middle. Drew Remlinger with touchdown catch number 2 on the evening, and a 12-0 game, and they will go for 2.
Jeff, to think about that, that was a great pass by de Blasio as well, too. Hit him right in stride. As head coach Jeremy Scally said, he would be a good quarterback in any system. A little direct snap to Gibbons, who hands off and throws back to de Blasio, who's in the end zone, and the 2-point conversion is successful. They handed the ball to Josh de Blasio, the backup quarterback, and he found his brother in the near side, keeping it in the family at Hilliard Davidson. And they convert for 2 and have a 2-touchdown lead. We are almost halfway through quarter number 2. Jerome down by a couple of scores. It's our Toyota Friday Night Rivals.
Thank you.
14-0 is the lead for Hilliard Davidson. Coming up in just a few minutes, we will go down to Kellyanne Stitz for the Music Go Round Coach's Corner to hear from the coach who has the lead as his team heads to the locker room. And right now, that would be Jeremy Scally of Hilliard Davidson on this first half, which has been completely dominated by the visitors from Hilliard. They're up by a couple of scores, Jeff Logan.
Boy, it was pretty special. And again, having the mix-up on the extra point on the first score. They went for 2. They were able to come up with it. That one took 14 plays, 80 yards, 7 minutes, 46 seconds. Again, a Rembrandt painting by Hilliard Davidson.
And the scoring summary brought to you by Alcohol, Drug, and Mental Health Board of Franklin County. You look at the 2 scoring drives, Jeff, that Davidson has had in this game. 27 plays, 155 yards combined. Pretty impressive.
That is pretty good.
Even I know that.
Ball through the end zone. Total time of possession here in the first half for Dublin Jerome. 2 minutes and 34 seconds for the entire first half. Here's the 2-point conversion. Little razzle-dazzle in the shotgun formation. They snap it back to Gibbon. Gibbon flips it to the younger de Blasio. De Blasio goes to the more senior de Blasio, and there's your 2 points. How good is that?
Let's see if Jerome can get its offense started. They are capable of moving the football. They have scored 61 points in 2 games. They churn out 251 yards of their own on the ground, but they need to keep the football here for a while and give this defense a little bit of a rest.
No need to panic. The one thing you cannot do at this stage is turn that ball over.
And it's Kyle White, the quarterback, and he has his first substantial gain of the night out across the 25-yard line, out to the 28. Kyle White, 6'1", 185-pound senior, a standout lacrosse player, member of a state title-winning team. We have a Davidson player slow getting up after the play. Kyle White, a 6'1", 185-pound senior who was on the defensive side of the ball last year. We invite you to stick around at the half for the Kitchen Saver halftime show. Discover the inspiring ways teachers from Hilliard Davidson and Dublin Jerome high schools are helping students as the school year begins in the Ohio Education Association Educator Spotlight. Plus, all the scores from all the games around Central Ohio tonight. It's all coming up for you in the Kitchen Saver halftime show. Coming up at the intermission. Again, Kitchen Saver.
Injured player Turner Schmidt, big senior, 6'4", 230 pounds. He's wearing a brace on that right leg. Makes you wonder if he's had a previous knee injury, but able to get off easily under his own power. But a great first down opportunity for Dublin Jerome at the legs of Kyle White, taking it all the way up for an 8-yard gain. Going to bring up their best down and distance for the entire first half.
Out to the 28. Handoff goes inside. And this is the first touch of the night for 5'10", 155-pound senior C.J. Infante. 22nd carry of the season. Marcus Allen was there to greet him.
How about the strength of these linebackers? We've talked about Marcus Allen and Caden Wilson, the young man that we talked at the opening, but that time Marcus Allen, a brand new starter, came in there and just manhandled Infante.
Play lost a yard, Jeff. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 3 at the 27 with 5.5 to go in this first half. Hilliard Davidson has scored both times they have had the football. Each drive converting on 4th downs, pass batted out of the air as sweeping in defensively for Hilliard Davidson, reaching up and knocking that ball away was Riley Johnson in at one of those linebacker spots. Got those hands straight up into the air and almost volleyball spiked that one out of the way.
Yeah, when you got that linebacker coming, you know that they're giving you a little bit of juice. They're bringing the blitz, watching the left side of your screen. You can see the game action, and the quarterback, Kyle White, never saw the linebacker coming on the blitz, nowhere to throw, and quick 3-and-out situation basically.
So on to punt the football away, Carter Holden, averaging 41 yards a kick. No wind to speak of.
We got an equipment problem down here with just trying to get a chin strap snap. Official stepping in.
We have been very lucky our first 3 weeks of high school football. Maybe a little humid, but for the most part we have had great weather. Here's the kick by Holden, fielded by Davidson's Clark, and he starts to work up the field, tries to wiggle out of one tackle attempt, but the Jerome cover team was down there to bring him down. That was the young man, Lorenze Ezram, who had his helmet adjusted, and he raced down there and made the tackle. Good thing he kept the hat on.
Nicky Clark, a pretty dangerous punt returner back there. Took a very, very conservative fair catch on the first punt of the evening. That time he returns it for 4 or 5 yards, and here comes Johnny de Blasio back into lead his football team. There's Mickey Clark, young man who just returned the punt.
Davidson offense on a basically short field here at the 43. Jeremy Scalley's offense, they have run up and down the field here in this first half. De Blasio will fake the handoff to Gibbon and keep the football himself out across the 50. You saw Jeremy Scalley there a moment ago. Jeff and I referenced it a moment ago. When I was talking to Coach Scalley earlier in the week, the first thing he talked about, Jeff, was what happened to them last year, how unhappy he was with just the way that they were basically, according to Coach Scalley, pushed around. And he said, Davidson teams don't get pushed around. We do the pushing. So they made a concerted effort, Jeff, to get better in the weight room. They had 100% attendance in the weight room early in the mornings, and that's one of the reasons why they are back stronger and impressive here through the first couple of games. The 2nd down and 3 call. Gibbon is stuck in the backfield and dropped. Matt Atwood, 5'11", 190-pound senior linebacker, shot the gap in an absolute heartbeat and made a heck of a tackle.
Yeah, good effort that time, and that's going to get the Jerome defense really fired up. It's going to bring up an uncomfortable down and distance. You can see how quickly they got in there. That was a blitz situation with Matthew Atwood, and I think that's one of the things that Jerome is going to have to do is mix it up on defense and bring some extra looks and take some risks by blitzing those linebackers.
It's a 3rd down call coming, 3rd and 5. Full speed Clark in motion. He'll come set next to the quarterback, de Blasio. And he is back to throw. Looks down the far side, over the middle. Clark is wide open at the 25, gets stuck and dropped inside the 20. It's another first down for Hilliard Davidson, but there is a flag down, back up field.
Yeah. It's coming back.
De Blasio threw the football, and it's in the area where you would normally associate a holding call. That's the initial response, and that will wipe out a long gain for Hilliard Davidson. We'll see what the penalty flag is on the play, sponsored by the United States Army.
Yeah, it's only holding if you get caught, and they needed to hold there, or the quarterback would have gotten sacked. I mean, I don't know how to better explain it.
On the offense, number 53. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat, third down.
That's your blind side left tackle that has the responsibility to protect his quarterback, and you're going to see at the very top of your screen, right there is the hold. You can see how he turned the Jerome player around, no question about it, and it's going to negate a very large gain for Hilliard Davidson. But I'm going to come back and tell you that if they don't hold on that situation, we've got a quarterback sack.
Only if you get caught, huh?
Yeah, only if you get caught.
3rd and 16 now. The ball walked back to the 37-yard line. The master of the understatement, Jeff Logan. Backs are in the eye. De Blasio operates over center, hands off to Gibbon, and they'll just keep it simple this time as they need to get into Jerome territory for the first down at the 47. This will be a short gain out to the 41-yard line. We approach 3 minutes to go in this first half. And right now, a Hilliard Davidson 2-touchdown lead at 14-0. Davidson will punt the football away now as Andrew Lewis will come back to kick the football, and Braden Alford will return for
Tarantine, who ran the ball that time, is trying to get a substitution, but he is a part of the punt team, so he's going to hang in there.
So here is Lewis again on to kick it away. 4th and 12. Here is Alford feeling the end-over-end kick. Starts up the middle of the field now with a decent return and tries to wiggle out of a tackle attempt and cannot do so. And the Jerome offense will come on the field at the 32-yard line. Kellyanne Stitz is working the sidelines for us tonight. Hi, Kellyanne.
Hey guys, now looking at Dublin Jerome, their specialist kicker, Carter Holden, they may need to rely on him if they need to get some points on the board. Now he's rated as a 5-star kicker and punter from attending multiple national kicking camps this season. He's also ranked as the 23rd best kicker in the nation. But off the field, Carter is very involved in the community. He volunteers as a buddy for the Miracle League of Central Ohio, helping kids of all abilities play baseball. He also helps raise money for Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation for childhood cancer, helping fight to find a cure for pediatric cancer. And so far, he's raised $780. He also helps coach at the middle school, shaping their kickers and punters and helping shape Jerome's special teams for the future, guys.
And on that first down play, Kyle White finds Zach Thomas for a first down. That's another Bowling Green State University first down for the Dublin Jerome offense from the 31 out to the 43, a pickup of a dozen.
Again, good drop back. This ball delivered on target, on time. Good route run out there as well by Zach Thomas. Coming into tonight's ball game, just 3 catches, no touchdown for Zach. I think that's number 2 tonight.
And he's open this time down the field. White hits him, he makes the catch and stumbles down inside the 15-yard line. First down upcoming for Dublin Jerome. Kyle White had all kinds of time in the pocket thanks to that big mammoth offensive line and found his open receiver, Zach Thomas, wide open.
They're going to have some fun with this in the film room when they watch it again. We're ISO on 17. Zach Thomas sees the ball coming in. It's just catch it, catch it, catch it. Stumbles as the ball was thrown a little bit behind him. Had he been able to keep his feet underneath him, it would have been good enough for a touchdown. 44 yards on the throw and catch.
And Dublin Jerome, as the first half starts to wind down, finally have their offense in gear, and they're doing it through the air. They average 123 yards per game through the air coming into the game. White was 16 of 27 throwing, and they will run the football this time. White keeps the ball and gets inside the 15 to, well, back towards the line of scrimmage, which was the 13. He managed to get back to the line of scrimmage. When Kyle White went over to the quarterback spot, head coach Brett Glass says that he took that winning mentality that he brought with him from his success, Jeff, playing lacrosse, and also on the defensive side of the ball last year for Dublin Jerome. He said he's one of those type of players. He leads, everyone else follows.
Yeah, he's a 3-sport athlete, and you know how many of those do you find anymore in high school football? And this is a kid that just is a winner.
Nice pass right there on the turn-in route to Carson Bleak, who wiggles out out of a tackle, dives towards the goal line, gets in, touchdown, Dublin Jerome. Carson Bleeks, a 5'11", 175-pound senior. That little turn-in route, White hitting right in the numbers, and he was able to squeeze free and score the touchdown. That's another Ramos Roofing touchdown. For a free estimate on your roof, call or text 614-761-ROOF. The touchdown for Carson Bleeks at Dublin Jerome.
A good delivery here by the quarterback, but how about the second effort by Bleeks? Her knee is not down, continues to spin, takes care of the football, and reaches it across the plane before the knee goes down, and there's a score. And just like that, Dublin Jerome back in this football game.
Impressive drive by the Celtics as they march down the field. And get the touchdown pass by Kyle White. That is his 4th of the season. He had a couple in the opener against Westerville South. Carter Holden 7 of 8 this year. Last year, 33 of 36 on extra point tries. Kyle White will hold. 1:16 to go, first quarter. Snap a bit high. White gets it down. The kick is up, and it has no problem sailed way over the crossbar, over the back end zone bleachers into the band area back there for the conversion. 14-7 as Dublin Jerome. But the majority of it done through the air, Jeff. They did use a couple of running plays, but that air attack was the key to that success. Yeah,
again, Kyle White, the guy that orchestrated the entire drive there, whether he's running the football or throwing it. A touchdown pass to Carson Bleeks, a young junior wide receiver. What really cost Davidson on that drive, or in that situation, giving Jerome a chance to be able to score, were the penalties. You had so many penalties in the last few minutes of the time that they had the football and put themselves in a very awkward position.
A very quick but efficient scoring drive brought to you by Alcohol, Drug, and Mental Health Board of Franklin County. 4 plays, Jeff, 69 yards. It took them 79 seconds.
A reminder that Jerome won the toss, deferred to the second half, so Jerome will get that football again when they come out in quarter number 3.
Mickey Clark to the near side for Hilliard Davidson as Carter Holden will get set to kick the football away. And this kick will sail into the end zone, and the Hilliard Davidson offense will come back onto the field with 1:16 to go in this first quarter. Good look at Carter Holden. Good story on him by Kellyanne Stitz a moment ago. And one of the things that you so much enjoy about high school athletics, what these young men and young girls do when they're not on the field, the things that Kellyanne talked about that an individual like Carter Holden does and how involved he is in the community. You love to see that.
But one thing these high school athletes need to understand, I think they do a pretty good job of it, is that a lot of young eyes are watching everything that they do, and the mentoring that they can do, not necessarily on the field, but also off the field, becomes critically important to the growth of those young people.
First down and 10 for Davidson. De Blasio out of the shotgun with Schmidt off to his right, and Schmidt will get the call, tries to find the edge, gets to the 30, has the first down as he was able to skirt the edge and get out to the outside and pick up a Davidson first down. Brought to you by Bowling Green State University. Another first down here in quarter number 2. The Davidson Wildcats, the Jerome Celtics, as we near the intermission. 14-7. Davidson on top. We'll have scores coming up at the half for you as well, too. Jeff and I looking forward to our visit next week down to Pickerington. That should be a lot of fun when Central and North renew their friendly rivalry. Out towards the 39-yard line is Kevin Gibbons on the call. Checking that was Dane Schmidt.
Make sure you email me what part of that rivalry is the friendly part so I can prepare for that.
Hashtag sarcasm. That should be a fun one next week. Jeff LaMonaco in his first go-around as the head coach at Pickerington Central. Spent all that time as the defensive coordinator for Jay Sherritt, who did a great job of that Pickerington Central team, won a state championship. And Nate Hillerich and that Pickerington North program, they have some talented players. Should be a fun one next week. It's been a fun one here tonight, first half. Hilliard Davidson leading 14-7. Here's Schmidt waiting for something to open, finds the corner, and then accelerates ahead towards the midfield stride. Picked up the first down, and the flag comes sailing in way after the play. This will be another personal foul.
As they should. Again, this is just terrible action late on a play. I mean, you've got to be better at making decisions along the sideline like that. That's the second one of the football game. Man, going to extend the play.
Football, Jeff Young,
First down. After that, dead ball. Laid it out of bounds, personal foul. On the defense, 15-yard penalty, number 2. First down.
All right, Hilliard
37 now, Jeff.
Davidson with 1 timeout remaining. Watch again here. We're out of bounds, no question, and there's the late shot.
So with 12 seconds left in the half, Davidson advances into Jerome territory, helped out by the penalty. And here's de Blasio back to throw. Steps up into the pocket, but it closes almost immediately, and down he goes. Great penetration that time. Noah Ryan, the 6'2", 215-pound senior tackle, comes up with the big hit right there for the Celtics defense, and that will do it for half number 1. Hilliard Davidson, the first 2 times they have the football, lengthy scoring drives, 1 of 13 plays, 1 of 14 plays. And they have the advantage after 1 period, or after 1 half rather. Dublin Jerome got on the board late in the second quarter when they went to the air with Kyle White leading them down the field. And that's where we stand after 2 periods of football in a pretty good non-conference matchup between these 2 teams, members, of course, of the OCC, but in different divisions. And the first time they have ever met on a high school football field, 14-7 is the lead for Hilliard Davidson over Dublin Jerome tonight on just a spectacular night. Look at that sky here.
It's beautiful
for this high school football Friday in Central Ohio.
Kind of scary what Hilliard Davidson did in that first half in terms of just total domination of the clock. But just as special as that, Dublin Jerome not giving up, Marty, and bringing themselves right back into this game. And again, as we mentioned, they will get the ball to start the second half.
And as you mentioned, total domination, but they're only up by a score. Down to the sidelines now. Here's Kellyanne Stitz with Jeremy Scally.
End zone. What do you guys?
I honestly said play a little bit harder, play a little bit lower, and then play a little bit better situational football, and then just be rock solid on special teams. I just want to see us play a little bit harder, that's all.
A little bit harder. What will be your message to the team at halftime?
Play a little bit harder.
Play a little bit harder. All right, thank you so much, Coach.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Kellyanne, thank you with Jeremy Scally as we have reached the intermission of this one tonight here at Dublin Jerome. Just a beautiful, beautiful night here on the northwest side of Columbus at Dublin Jerome High School. Good one in the first half. Hilliard Davidson has a touchdown advantage over Dublin Jerome. To the air go the run-oriented Wildcats to score a couple of times. To the ground and then to the air go the Celtics. And we're separated by a score after 1 half of play. It's our Toyota Friday Night Rivals matchup.
Where are you going?
Just right over here. I just wanted to get out of it.
Okay. Do you want me to say the score off the top? Welcome to the Batfitter Halftime Show. I'm Kellyanne Stitz. Right now, Hilliard Davidson leads Dublin Jerome 14-7. All season long, the CW Columbus and the Ohio Education Association are teaming up to highlight the real MVPs of tonight's game. The educators making a difference inside of their classrooms, helping prepare the student athletes in the classroom and out. And tonight, we highlight two special educators from Hilliard Davidson and Dublin Jerome making a difference inside the schools.
The Ohio Education Association and the CW Columbus are putting the spotlight on these exceptional teachers here in Columbus. Celebrating Spanish teacher Jennifer Cooper from Hilliard Davidson and math teacher Lisa Lemon from Dublin Jerome. Jennifer loves connecting with her students and tells them mistakes come with learning.
Spanish is difficult and students tend to get frustrated when they don't get it right away, but I remind them that as long as you say a couple of words correctly, somebody will be able to figure it out, and we just practice making mistakes and how to fix mistakes in our classroom all the time.
Lisa has taught students for 29 years and will retire after this school year. During that time, she's focused on getting young, bright minds interested in STEM.
The one thing about teaching, when you see that student who's worked so hard finally start to see some success and growth, and you see the pride in it when they complete that what they've been working on so hard, or and their confidence start to grow. That is a feeling that never gets old.
Congratulations to these outstanding educators.
A big thank you to both teachers for helping shape your guys' students. Now it's time once again for the challenge that everybody looks forward to, the big mascot challenge. It's time once again for the Safe Flight Mascot Challenge. Take a look.
Welcome everyone to the Safe Light Mascot Challenge right here on the CW Columbus. All right then, let's meet the contestants. Jaguar, Bear, Cardinal, Dog, and Good Day Columbus's own Muggsy. This week's challenge, the punt. First up, Jaguar, and he shanks it. Mercy. Nothing to be proud of there, Jaguar. Cardinal's turn, and he hooks it, just like his golf game. Safe to say this bird should not be celebrating. Bear is up next. Nice kick, Bear. Oh, Bear, you could act a little bit more excited, you know. Here's Dog with an amazing kick. Oh, he's got to feel good about that one. And look at him holding that pose. And finally, it's Muggsy. And he booms it. Muggsy really showing off the leg. Look at that distance. Muggsy knows he's got all of that one as he celebrates with the crowd. This week's big winner is Muggsy. Congratulations, Muggsy. Tune in next week for another exciting Safe Light Mascot Challenge on the CW Columbus. No mascots were harmed in the making of this video.
Way to go, Muggsy. What a great way to have some halftime entertainment. Can't get enough of that mascot challenge. But there's still more to come on the Batfitter Halftime Show. Marty Bannister will have more scores from across Central Ohio. And right now, Hilliard Davidson leads Dublin Jerome 14-7. We'll be right back after this.
Gotcha. Hilliard Davidson with a 14-7 lead over Dublin Jerome. We are at the intermission as we continue along with our halftime report. A couple of scores on two possessions for Davidson. Jerome got a score late in the first half, and that's where we stand at 14-7. Of course, it is a busy night all throughout Central Ohio for high school football as we have reached week number 3. Scores that we have right now. Bloom Carroll, we'll see the Bulldogs a little bit later on this season, off to a big lead over a good Jonathan Alder team, 21-0 advantage. That game in quarter number 2. Canal Winchester, the Indians, with a touchdown lead over Lancaster as that game nears the half down in Fairfield County. Dublin Scioto at Olentangy Berlin, and the Bears are rolling 24-0 as that game nears the half in another non-league matchup involving OCC teams. Harvest Prep, perennial power, off to a big lead over Eastmore Academy, 26-0 the score in that game as, again, they near the intermission. Hilliard Darby with a 14-7 lead over the Pioneers of Olentangy Orange as that game also nears the intermission. Olentangy with one of the standout players in the state of Ohio, quarterback Ethan Grunkemeyer, 14-0 lead over Westerville South. Grunkemeyer headed to play at Penn State, and the Braves are up 14-0 over the Westerville South Wildcats. Marysville and Reynoldsburg getting together, 7-3 the lead for the Raiders over the Monarchs. Watkins Memorial out of the Licking County League leads Tays Valley out of the Mid-State League for now, 21-0. Tays Valley headed to the OCC in a couple of seasons. They will, with Logan, join the OCC. We saw Thomas Worthington last week. Grove City, which was beaten by Davidson last week, has taken a 21-0 lead over the Cardinals as that game nears the intermission. We will see Pickerington North next week, and they have a touchdown lead on Upper Arlington as that game nears the intermission. Good matchup right there. Two very good high school football teams and two very good programs in high school football. 7-0 to score in that game here. Two very good programs and two very good high school football teams battling. Touchdown advantage for Davidson over Jerome. It's our Toyota Friday Night Rivals matchup. Okay, got it. Thank you.
The Ohio Education Association is proud to recognize Central Ohio's Scholar Athletes of the Week. James Tarantine is both a football and hockey captain at Hilliard Davidson High School. He's played hockey for 4 years on the varsity team and is a hockey state champion. James has summa cum laude honors for 3 years and is a member of the National Honor Society for the Arts and is a Buckeye Boys State delegate. He volunteers for many different charities. James has a 4.3 GPA. Danny Fu is on the football team at Dublin Jerome High School. He's an avid weightlifter and is currently working at an OSU internship. Danny is taking AP classes his senior year, plus 5 honors classes. He has the AP Scholar with Distinction Award. Danny carries a 4.3 GPA. Congratulations to these outstanding Ohio Education Association Scholar athletes.
And welcome back to Dublin Jerome. We are at the half with Hilliard Davidson on top of Dublin Jerome by the score of 14-7. Pretty good first half between these two undefeated teams. Jeff Logan, as we look at what happened in the first half, we figured Davidson would run the football. They did, but they ran the football to set up the pass.
They absolutely did, and they had 2 touchdown passes in that first half. A little bit surprising. Davidson going to run, but they are mixing things up a little bit offensively.
And a good drive by Jerome to end the half to get back into this game within a touchdown.
Yeah, here's touchdown number 1. Good throw by de Blasio. He finds Remlinger in the end zone, number 88. And a deja vu, Marty. We're going to see another one very similar.
Threaded the needle right through that defense as he ran right up the hash marks into the end zone for the touchdown.
Little 2-point conversion trickery.
The de Blasio brothers combined for the conversion to make it 14-0 at that point. But then it was Dublin Jerome's turn, Jeff, to move down the field and score.
You know, they only had the ball about 4 minutes the entire first half. Zach Thomas ends up wide open over the middle, unable to keep his feet, but very quickly thereafter, touchdown for Jerome.
Carson Bleeks doesn't blink when he makes the catch and spins free and dives for the score. Big way to end the half for Dublin Jerome.
Very impressive. That was not something you wanted to try and build upon. If you look at the stats here in the first half, you're going to see pretty good domination in terms of total yards for Hilliard Davidson, but the time of possession in this game very much in favor of Hilliard Davidson. Jerome making the best of the few minutes that they had the ball.
And despite the fact that they're almost doubled up in yardage right now, only down by a touchdown right now, 14-7. Been a pretty good first half for this one. We're looking forward to the second half tonight as Dublin Jerome and Hilliard Davidson. These two programs are only meeting for the first time ever in football. Hopefully this will be the start of a long-time get-together between these two programs. It's been a good first half. We're looking for a great second half as well, too, here at the intermission with Dublin Jerome and Hilliard Davidson. It's a 14-7 lead for Davidson here at the intermission as we head to the second half. Great to have you with us. Our Toyota Friday Night Rivals touchdown separates these two.
Any idea why?
She's going hardwired, Mike. Doesn't matter, Dean. Get your coach. We'll handle this. Get your coach.
Coach Glass, how do you slow down Hilliard Davidson's run?
We just got to get in the right gaps and tackle. I know it sounds oversimplistic, but it really is. It comes down to getting off blocks and tackling.
What do you need to do to give Kyle White some more opportunities to air it out?
Just need to get the ball back for him. They had the ball most of the first half, so our defense has got to get off the field on third downs and make some plays.
What was your message to the team at halftime?
Hey, we're right in this. We get the ball first off. Let's go.
Thank you so much and good luck.
Yep, thank you. I appreciate it.
Guys.
You could not have ordered a better night for high school football. We are at the intermission, our Toyota Friday night rivals. Davidson leading Jerome by the score of 14-7 here at the intermission. As we come back from our break, we wanted to give you a look at the Hilliard Davidson Marching Band. This sneak peek is sponsored by Music Go Round Marching Band Sound. Check out any of their locations at 2630 Bethel Road and in Gahanna inside the Stone Ridge Plaza, the Hilliard Davidson Marching Band. Hilliard Davidson with a 14-7 lead over the Celtics of Dublin Jerome, who really didn't have the football much in the first half of this game. As we go to the sidelines, Kellyanne Stitz is with the head coach of the Celtics, Brett Glass.
Coach Glass, how do you slow down Hilliard Davidson's run?
We just got to get in the right gaps and tackle. I know it sounds oversimplistic, but it really is. It comes down to getting off blocks and tackling.
What do you need to do to give Kyle White some more opportunities to air it out?
Just need to get the ball back for him. They had the ball most of the first half, so our defense has got to get off the field on third downs and make some plays.
What was your message to the team at halftime?
Hey, we're right in this. We get the ball first off. Let's go.
Thank you so much and good luck.
Yep, thank you. I appreciate it.
Guys.
And he pretty much echoed Coach Glass what we were saying, despite the fact they didn't have the football all that much in the first half and had to get basically reacquainted with what the pigskin looks like. They're only down by a touchdown right now, Jeff.
Yeah, no need to panic. I mean, they've made the most of their few situations in terms of having the football. And I got to believe that this young man right here, Kyle White, is going to be critically important to the success of this football team in half number 2. So obviously they get the ball to start things. Don't panic. Try and put some drives, first downs together. Give that defense a little bit of a chance to rest on the sidelines. Davidson, if they possess the ball again, they're going to come at you with that blue storm of theirs, and it's going to be very dangerous.
Jeremy Scally's team with a 14-7 lead over the Celtics of Dublin Jerome. We've mentioned a couple of times how this is the first ever matchup between these two, and you think to the closeness of the two programs and whatnot, each district has multiple high schools, and sometimes it's hard to schedule, but I like Kellyanne talked to Jay Schwanke prior to the game, the athletic director here at Jerome. They're going to play again next year, and they hope this will be the start of a rather lengthy get-together, and why the heck not? Two very good programs so close to one another.
In the way the playoffs are working right now, you can take the advantage of some of these kinds of battles early that are non-conference for you and still assure yourself that you're going to get yourself in the playoff.
We get ready for the second half, and Hilliard Davidson will kick the football away. Our second half kick is sponsored by MakeItMakeSense.org. Scan the QR code on the screen to get youths and adults the help they need to quit smoking and vaping. Andrew Lewis will kick the football away for Hilliard Davidson. Wildcats 5-7 last year, a very un-Hilliard Davidson-like run. Dublin Jerome last year was 9-3 as they won their region. They were the number 1 seed in Region 2, won their playoff opener, but then lost to the 8th seed Olentangy Liberty last year in the second round of the playoffs. They were doubled up 28-14 by then head coach Steve Hale's program. Here's the kick to start the second half, and this one will be fielded in the end zone by Alford, and the offense will come onto the field for Dublin Jerome, again trailing by the score of 14-7. Nikki Clark played a big role in that first half on offense for Hilliard Davidson, and there's Kyle White getting last-minute instructions before he leads the offense back out onto the field. Starter on the defensive side of the ball last year for these Celtics and moved over to the quarterback spot. He was the backup quarterback last year, Jeff, even though he did play on the defensive side of the ball. Did you follow along with all that?
I did.
Be a
spot
test
on.
afterwards. Be a test afterwards. First play from scrimmage at the 20-yard line. White will hand off inside, and a little bit of running room before the ball carrier is just grabbed around the waist. The helmet comes flying out of the pack after the ball carrier, Cale Huck, was dropped.
I'm very impressed with Marcus Allen in there at the middle linebacker spot, number 33. A couple of times he has shown his strength. Watch again. Watch 33 come up, make the play right now coming out of that linebacker spot, and he's able to toss and turn. And Cale Huck.
Speaking of toss, there was a little extra toss on Hayden Buckley's helmet after it came off. It got thrown back a couple of yards. That's why Buckley had to run off the field. Play gain 4 out to the 24-yard line, and again they'll hand it off inside. And here's Huck with a nice little sidestep move as he glides his way out across the 30 to the 35 and picks up a Dublin Jerome first down. It's a John Hinderer Dealers first down. Cale Huck with a nice run. Watch him kind of glide to the outside here, Jeff.
Yeah, that's a good job of reading what's going on ahead of him. He saw that free safety coming up the middle, was able to hop outside and make the big gain. Dublin Jerome proving that they too can run the football. It's not about just throwing.
Out to the 36, a pickup of a dozen for Huck. 150 yards coming into the game.
Quick play change from the sidelines, and Kyle White's got plenty of time on the game clock.
We're just underway, half number 2, almost a full minute in. Here's White with all kinds of time to throw. Has a receiver, that's the tight end, Aiden Lowry. And Lowry out near the athletic insignia for the Celtics near the midfield stripe. Picks up another first down, again brought to you by John Hinderer Dealers. And nice little pitch and catch right here. Good time for White to throw.
Yeah, real good target at 6'3". Aiden Lowry, just his second reception of the season. How about the offensive selection coming out here? Very diverse in terms of what they're trying to do. And right now they got Hilliard Davidson on their heels.
After a gain of 12 and a first down, it's a gain of 11 and a first down out to the 47. White again back to throw. Now we'll just take the football and run straight up the middle of the field and gets bumped back. Hayden Buckley, who has his helmet readjusted and back on, came in to make the tackle and pushes the quarterback backwards, helped out by number 99, Connor Bullen.
That time, quarterback Kyle White looking downfield, had his intended receiver fully covered, and instead of waiting back there for Katz to get loose, he decided to take the ball and run straight up the middle. Now, you'll take 3 or 4 on first down. This opens up the playbook, gives you plenty of opportunities.
White to throw again. Nice little route, finds Braden Alford, who starts up the middle of the field, breaks out of a tackle attempt and falls ahead to the 42-yard line, and another first down as Braden Alford with the catch and run gets to the 42.
We call this a slip screen. Basically, you're running the receivers downfield, running people off, and then the other receivers slipping in behind that and being able to throw that football. Really good job of finishing the play.
Another chunk gain of 11. Here's White after bobbling the snap, rolling, fires back over the far side and has a receiver on leaping catch. And another first down. The tight end, Aiden Lowry, did a great job. The ball comes bouncing out apparently afterwards. Davidson says it's theirs.
And so does the official over there. They have agreed. See if he had possession. See Aiden Lowry, number 14, going palms up.
See if we can get a look at this here in a moment. The Davidson Wildcats think it's their football as Caden Wilson.
Yeah, Caden Wilson over there with a live ball. See if this first turnover of the evening.
Saw the orange beanbag come flying in as well, too. It signifies a fumble. Watch here. Lowry with the catch with Wilson draped all over him. And there's the ball.
Yeah.
It's a fumble. Absolutely.
Yeah. Of course, the question comes down to, did the receiver have possession? And from our angle, it was very difficult to tell. Watch again here. It certainly looks like it from this end, and Hilliard Davidson will take over first down.
Well, these days, it's always a question, what's a catch and what's not a catch. Everybody holds their breath till you get it figured out. First down and 10. The line of scrimmage was the 26-yard line after the fumble recovery. And Davidson moves the ball out to the 33-yard line.
There's Caden. Fumble recovery, 6 foot 220. We highlighted him at the very beginning. This is a young man that had very serious knee injury back in October of a year ago in a playoff game against Grove City. ACL surgery. He has been a beast in the rehab and got himself as the leader of his defensive football team.
Another lacrosse commit. He will play collegiately. Gibbon with the handoff to the 35, has the first down and is escorted out of bounds to the far side by the Dublin Jerome defense. Is over there to help him out of bounds was Ezram, and it is another John Hinderer dealer's first down for this Hilliard Davidson offense. Even though the offense is on the field, I want to focus back on Caden Wilson for a second and that recovery from that ACL. That, more than anything, Jeff, that becomes a mental thing because you have to want to battle back because of the seriousness of that injury to either one of your knees.
Well, and he was the leader in the weight room. Nobody else could complain when he was in there busting his rear end.
Gibbon has surpassed the century mark and will try to add on to that total and does out across the 45-yard line. Line of scrimmage with the 41. And when we talked about Wilson, you could see the way that Hilliard Davidson's offensive line is doing a good job at the line of scrimmage of this game. That's because of following the lead of a guy like Wilson in that weight room in the offseason.
Yeah, look at his heads up, reading the blocks in front of him, doing a good job again going over that young left guard, Abe Swathwood, leading the charge, 280-pound sophomore.
A second and short call coming up after a quick timeout. Davidson on the turnover has the football back, leading Jerome by 7 points. Our Toyota Friday Night Rivals matchup.
Summer won't last forever, but during Toyota's national sales event, you can make memories that will.
Come on.
There you go.
Where's my mom? Just be in the moment.
Make some memories in a stylish new Corolla, versatile Corolla Cross or electrified Corolla Hybrid, and get APR financing as low as 3.99% plus 2 years no-cost maintenance. Toyota, let's go places.
14-7. The lead for Dublin Jerome as Matt Atwood makes his way off the field after the timeout. Davidson offense with the football after the turnover, facing a 2nd down and 3 call. As quarterback Johnny DeBlasio, who came in last year as the starter as a sophomore and helped guide Davidson into the playoffs. But there were times last year, and I had one of their playoff games last year and called one of their games. I remember talking to Jeremy Scally about DeBlasio, and he said even at that time, it's there. He understands what we want, but as a sophomore, he just hasn't fully grasped what we're trying to do offensively. Here's a handoff as plowing ahead for the first down. That was Dane Schmidt, the ball carrier that time for Hilliard Davidson, as he dives into Jerome territory at the 48. Another John Hinderer's dealer first down. But now he grabs that offense and understands what he is asked to do. And in fact, Jeff, Jeremy Scally said last week things really clicked for him as they roll past Grove City.
Well, the coaches talk about slowing down, where the game slows down for him. And obviously as a sophomore starter, the game was very fast for him. At this stage now, there's very few things that this young man has not seen already when he's out there looking at defenses.
High formation. The last game picked up 11. Ball just into Jerome territory. And the ball's loose in the field now, and it may belong to Jerome. The Celtics may have recovered a fumble. They have. They have the football back. Davidson coughs it up as the ball popped free right in the middle of the field. Brady Fowler may have fell on the football for the Jerome Celtics. There were a number of guys wearing green and gold around this loose pigskin. Watch it here.
Right at the mesh point, it looked like DeBlasio wanted to pull the football back out. And then the read option, and the ball came out, and no question that Jerome was able to get the ball back. They are dealing, and in business, we've got another injured player on the field. Looks like a cramping situation.
I got it, you take it, you take it, I got it, it's mine, it's yours. Who
Hot
has
potato.
it? We have it.
Hot potato down there. But a big defensive play by Brady Fowler coming up with the loose change. We went mistake-free in the first half of play, no turnovers, and bang, bang, each of these drives have now created turnover situations.
And you can't blame that on us because we didn't mention it.
It's right, exactly.
We didn't mention it in the first half. Normally, the announcer's jinx comes in full force in something like that. 14-7 again as we have a change of possession. Davidson coughs up the football. Fans, there's no need to wait to get the score of your favorite high school team. First Scores on Fox 28 has you completely covered. Sponsored by Columbus State Community College, and that starts tonight at 10 o'clock. We ran through scores for you a while ago at the intermission. Some good games going on around the area, and this one has been a good one as it is a tropical night here at Dublin Jerome.
That's your quarterback, de Blasio, who was slow getting up there.
Coming up after the scramble for the loose football, and the Dublin Jerome offense will come back onto the field led by that mammoth offensive line. Preston Westenskow, 6'5", 270. Jack Gilbert, 6'3", 240. Nathan Wardrop, the center, 6'7", 265-pound senior. Corbin Wilson, 6'3", 265. And Dane Walensky, who's headed to Virginia, a 6'6", 280-pound senior. White, hesitation, acceleration, and a nice gain as he rumbles into Davidson territory. Line of scrimmage was the 48-yard line, and he carries to the 47 of Hilliard Davidson. Jeff, you and I were talking on the field prior to the game, and I asked you about having a 6'7" center. And again, height really doesn't factor into it, but you don't see that all the time.
You really don't. A lot of times you get that 6'7" guy that's 260 or 70 pounds. You want to put him on the outside where he can use that length. He can use the how long he is to be able to keep people off your quarterback. But what they need to have is consistency with that snapper, and that is certainly what Wardrop is able to bring.
Here's Huck dancing and darting his way up the middle of the field behind that offensive line and is close to a first down. It will be a third down and short call upcoming. Watch Huck negotiate his way through this hole, Jeff.
Yeah, Cale Huck in the first 2 weeks averaging about 7 yards per try. Good, solid, consistent runner, senior. Haven't seen much of C.J. Infante in there in the backfield. It seems like Cale Huck has been the guy.
6.5 to go, quarter number 3. We've exchanged turnovers here in the second half, and here's Kyle White with the carry for the Dublin Jerome first down. And again, that first down brought to you by John Hinderer's Dealers. A John Hinderer Dealers first down for the Jerome offense.
You know, I think the one thing Brett Glass realized when he brought Kyle White in to be the quarterback is that they were going to run the quarterback more in this offense than they have ever run the quarterback before.
White back to throw. Has some time. Zips it over the middle. Leapy grab and then a drop. Oh, Aiden Lowry had that one right in his hands at the 25-yard line. And when he went to gather the ball in, Jeff, that's when it looked like it squoze or popped out of his hands.
Boy, it looked odd to me that there were two receivers in the same general vicinity, but this ball was really delivered on time and on target. You got to go up there and make the catch. You can see the head spins away right there.
A lot of contact after that as well, too. A lot of body bumping going on. Lowry, that would have been a substantial gain for the Celtics. And he was the one who fumbled that ball earlier. That led to the exchange of possession on the last series. White again back to throw. Now will tuck the football, trying to evade pressure. Sidesteps one defender and is brought down from behind. We've called Connor Bullen's name a number of times tonight, and number 99 has had a nice game across that defensive front for the Hilliard Davidson Wildcats.
He has been really active in there, and that defensive line, Hayden Hughes, Hayden Buckley, Connor Bullen, and Turner Schmidt, those guys are really solid up front. Walking over to the sideline. Very convenient for Kyle White to get the play call from head coach Brett Glass.
Facing a 3rd down and 6 after that last gain of 4. Ball at the Davidson 36. White steps up, and that pass might have been batted away at the line of scrimmage as he started to deliver. There were hands in the air that time as White was back to throw.
See if Marcus Allen, who's been eyeing the quarterback, let's see if he got in the throwing lane there. Wasn't sure who put up the picket fence, but there's not much of an opportunity for Kyle White to deliver the football. Let's watch right up the middle. Yeah, 24 coming in to make the play.
Jeff, that's Riley Johnson.
Yeah.
He had that almost volleyball spike type deflection in the first half. Good catch on that one.
Yeah, some guys just have the knack for being able to come up 4th down situation, they're going.
4th and 6 at the Davidson 36. Back to throw is White. Here comes the rush. Here comes the throw. And the pass is juggled and dropped in contact. Again, Aiden Lowry. And that would have been a very difficult catch. There were all kinds of white shirts around the intended receiver, Lowry. The pass falls incomplete. And on downs, the Davidson defense gets the football back, and their offense will be back on the field when we come back. 5:21 to go. Quarter number 3. 14-7 continues to be the score. Davidson leads Jerome. It's Toyota Friday Night Rivals. You better buckle it up next Friday night. This one is going to be a dandy next week. Toyota Friday Night Rivals. We will be in Pickerington as Pickerington Central takes on Pickerington North. Our coverage starts at 7 o'clock right here on the CW Columbus. One of the highlight games of the year in area high school football. We've got it for you.
2 great programs, and all you have to do is look at Ohio State's football team and see the impact that both of those schools have had in getting players up to the next level.
Davidson with the football, 1st down and 10 at their own 36. And here's de Blasio to throw it. He'll air it out to the far side and just sail it out of bounds. Mickey Clark was the receiver in the area. And de Blasio looks like he may be hobbling a little bit after he threw that pass, Jeff. You talked about it earlier when he walked off the field after that fumble. And he is a little distressed right now.
Yeah, I don't think he can go. You can see there he's going down. And the backup quarterback is another de Blasio. You saw him tonight. He threw the 2-point conversion. And you can see the frustration right there of this young man. And again, it looks like a cramping situation. That's exactly what it is.
Athletic training staff out to tend on Johnny de Blasio. 4 of 5 throwing the football tonight, 23 yards with a couple of touchdowns, and both those touchdown passes were outstanding throws to the tight end, Drew Remlinger.
You know, these aren't dangerous injuries by any stretch, but they are, in many cases, game-ending injuries, because once it happens, there's no stopping it. I mean, it's just going to continue to be that way. And again, a case of just simple heat on the field and lack of hydration prior to the game. So Josh de Blasio, I'm going to guess, the sophomore, will come in and play quarterback coming into tonight's ball game. 1 for 1. And oh, by the way, for a touchdown. But he has the 2-point conversion tonight.
Conversion, that's right. Man.
So
it was
yet to throw an incompletion.
Something about the de Blasio family throwing the football. Johnny coming into the game was 5 of 7 on the season, and Josh hasn't missed a pass either. So de Blasio is back up and will be able to make his way off the field under his own power, but is limping noticeably down to the sidelines. And here's Kellyanne Stitz.
Hey guys, a fun one for Hilliard Davidson's defense. If you have heard the name Schmidt, you probably heard it twice. There's actually twins who both play on that side of the ball, Turner and Davis, but they also have their younger brother on the offensive side of the ball, Dane. And I talked to their mom and I said, isn't that household kind of chaotic? She said, no, it's actually very fun, and it's unbelievable that all 3 get to play together this year on varsity. The twins, Turner and Davis, have always played football together from flag to tackle, now high school, and all 3 are very supportive of each other. They all also play golf together with their dad, who is a teaching pro. So a lot of bonding time. The parents, they try to sit high enough in the stands to watch both kids when they're on the field together, but it's all fun and games in that household there.
That's a immediate foursome right there. The three sons and dad, absolutely.
You're not kidding me, Kellyanne. When they deliver that pizza to that house, it is mayhem. Don't give me any of this. Oh, it's really calm. I'm not
That's when
buying.
the competition comes out.
I grew up in a family with 4 boys. I know how it works.
Josh de Blasio on now at quarterback, and he took the snap on the last play and sprinted out. He'll throw this time and zips it near side over the head of the intended receiver, Mickey Clark.
Well, they had a pretty good play set up there. A little bubble screen trying to get the ball out quickly. And again, Josh de Blasio, the sophomore quarterback, hasn't had much experience, but it certainly runs in the family. Watch again, this ball sails high. And probably fortunate it did not get picked off. You could see the defensive backs coming up. Connor Nally, who's one of the corners over there, making the play.
See, that's the advantage of having a brother who's 18 years younger than you. When I ordered the pizzas, I got them all to myself. Here's the kick by Andrew Lewis. A spiraling kick that Alford will race over and field chest high, and he'll start to move his way up the field with a nice move to the outside. He's got some room to the 45. He's into Davidson territory to the far side sideline, and he's put out of bounds. A nice return by Braden Alford, and that sets up Jerome in great field position as they'll have the football in plus territory on the Davidson side of the field.
Well, hope Dad Tony Alford is watching on the CW stream right now while he's over in Bloomington. You can be proud of your son, Braden here. Sets up the punt return perfectly, kicks it outside, and puts Jerome in the short side of the 50-yard line. Great return by the young football player. 34 yards on the return.
And they'll have a first down and 10. The ball in Davidson territory at the 41 with 4:13 to go here in quarter number 3. A 14-7 lead for Davidson over Jerome. Alford against Westerville South had a big game. Had 7 receptions for 141 yards. And here is a handoff up the middle. And running along the hash marks that time was Cale Huck, 5'9", 160-pounder. And from the 41-yard line, Huck gets to the 38 to pick up a 3.
Very different running attack. They don't have that big, hulking running back, much like Hilliard Davidson has. But, man, do they get their yards by earning them. I mean, these guys are in there, they're hustling, they're doing the right thing, keeping the legs going, and that offensive line doing a good job.
White out of the pistol this time. Will hand off. Here's Huck trying to get to the outside. And there again, racing in to blow that play up was Riley Johnson from that strong side safety position. He's had a heck of a game. He got there first, and that slowed down the progression and allowed help to arrive.
Well, they love to run into that boundary, into the short side of the field, because generally there's less defenders over there. But look at the game action there. You have a little flip going on up front where you got a defensive end going outside, and you got the corner coming inside on the blitz. And again, they're trying to take advantage of Riley Johnson's athleticism.
Play gained a yard to the 39-yard line. Back to throw is White. Has some time now. Fires this one over the middle, and a leaping attempt at a catch by Zach Thomas, the 6'2", 180-pound senior. And the pass will sail incomplete. And quickly, it's a 4th down. So after some of the momentum they had, the drive comes to a halt right now, and we'll see what the mindset of Brett Glass is with 2:52 to go, Jeff, here in quarter number 3.
You know, Marty, it seems to me on some of these pass plays, especially the crossing patterns over the middle, there are too many green jerseys in the same general vicinity. They need more separation out there in terms of the running routes that they are, because it's becoming very easy to have a lot of white shirts compacted there to be able to play defense, and they're going for it on 4th down.
Could be a crucial point of this game. 4th down and 8 at the 39. White's back to throw. Has some time. Looks long down the middle of the field now for Alford, and his pass will sail way over his head and incomplete. And once again, the Davidson defense gets the job done, and they will give the football back to their offense on downs as they hold Dublin Jerome, and the Wildcats will get the football back. The big question now is for Hilliard Davidson, as we watch Kyle White step into this throw, and he got a lot of air under it, but it was way too far downfield for Alford to track down. Whether or not Johnny de Blasio comes back on the field for the Davidson offense.
Exactly. We'll have to watch very closely. And again, I like the play call there. I like going for it on 4th down in this situation, because you don't know how many times, as we see the senior de Blasio, the junior quarterback, the more senior of the two, coming back on the field. Let's see if he can gut it out here with that cramping situation.
On the turnover of downs, the ball at the 39-yard line for Davidson. Handoff goes to Gibbon, and he works the left side, probing that left side, trying to find some room. Got out to the 42-yard line, picked up 3.
You know, the one thing you can count on if you're the Dublin Jerome defense is that most likely 14, Johnny DeBlasio is not going to run the football in this spread, and they're going to try and give the ball to Kevin Gibbon, who's got 24 carries tonight for 115 yards, most of those coming in the first half of play.
Gibbon coming into the game with 232 yards and 4 touchdowns. Second down and 7 calls. We approach 2 minutes. They'll hand the football off. Here's Clark coming to the near side with Gibbon leading the way. A flag is down. Clark stumbles, steps, and moves across the midfield stripe into Jerome territory, but this one's coming back.
Well, the penalties have been a situation for Hilliard Davidson tonight. Usually a team that is a little bit better as far as penalties. U.S. Army sponsoring the flag here. We've had a few penalties, obviously. Holding.
On the offense, 10-yard penalty for the flag. Repeat, second down.
Referee John McKenna and his crew have done a good job in this one tonight.
You know, Marty, those plays that take so long to develop as you're coming across. A lot of times those offensive linemen have a difficult time holding on to those blocks up front.
Running backs always say that, don't they?
Hey, those guys up front are your protectors.
Absolutely. It'll be a 2nd and 17. The ball moved back to the 32-yard line. Johnny DeBlasio back in at quarterback. Takes the waist-high snap and will hand it off in the middle. And like a bowling ball, bouncing off of a couple of defenders was Gibbon, but he didn't go very much further than that. As again, Matt Atwood, who's played a very good game defensively tonight, helped out by Rithwick Chugwani across that front line for Dublin Jerome.
Yeah, it looked like Chugwani was the guy that kind of got into the backfield that slowed things down and created the opportunity for Matthew Atwood to be able to make the tackle.
3rd down and long coming up here for Davidson, 3rd and 16. We talked a lot early about their run first mindset, but the air has been kind to them tonight. And here's DeBlasio flushed out of the pocket looking to throw the football. Stops, sets, and just heaves this one downfield, and it will go way out of bounds. And the punt unit, you would think, will come onto the field for Davidson.
Good decision there by DeBlasio, getting rid of the football, not taking the loss. They knew they were going to have to punt the football in that situation. And, you know, one of the things that not having that quarterback as mobile as you want to because of the cramping situation, it allows you to concentrate on some other parts of that offense to try and stop it.
Let's see what Braden Alford can do with this. He's come close on a couple of these punt returns, Jeff, of making a much larger return than when he initially started out. One of them, he had a nice return into Davidson territory that was called back. Let's see what he can do here. He looks to be one of those type of players that's a big play looking for a place to happen. Low snap, and here's the kick by Lewis. Alford will race back and field it, but his momentum, unfortunately, will carry him out of bounds, and the Jerome offense will come onto the field. Back down to the sidelines again, and Kellyanne Stitz.
Yeah, guys, after that first and earlier, that big return, the student section chanted, Braden Alford, just ringing out and keying in on Braden Alford. He is very close with his dad, Tony Alford, who, of course, is Ohio State's running backs coach, and they have a close relationship. Tony told me he calls Braden his best friend. The two are always talking about ball and life, but he describes Braden as a grinder. This offseason, Braden really focused on his speed and agility, putting in work at +2 Academy, a student of the game. Braden watches film with Coach Alford's interns at Ohio State. He's at their facility asking former Buckeye wide receiver Devin Jordan questions. Tony is beyond proud of him, and despite Ohio State being on the road at Indiana to open the season tomorrow, Tony told me that he is sure to make sure that he is streaming this one to support his son.
Thank you, Kellyanne. Braden Alford with offers from the Naval Academy, Ohio Dominican, Marion, a school in Indiana, Butler, also an Indiana school. And there's Cale Huck, slow getting up after the play. As we have the clock stopped with 42 seconds left here in half number 2 of this matchup between Dublin Jerome and Hilliard Davidson. I think sometimes folks wonder, when you are the coach of a powerhouse, Power 5 college football program, do you have time when you're on the road to look in on what your offspring are doing in a game? And in this situation. Obviously, Tony Alford has a chance to do that, courtesy of the streaming that is so prevalent these days. And Coach Alford, if you're watching, well, we hope you are, and best of luck tomorrow. Here's a pass tipped at line scrimmage and intercepted, and Hilliard Davidson has the football back. That pass was tipped by Hayden Buckley and then picked off as the Wildcat defense comes up with a huge play. Paul Kanapke, who they call the quarterback of their defense, got that pass on the tip, and Davidson set up in good position in Jerome territory.
How many times do you see the tip end up being an interception, went right into the chest of Hayden Buckley? Hayden Buckley could have intercepted that ball, but it hit him right in the chest. The ball went straight up in the air, and now all of a sudden, where it looked like Hilliard Davidson was maybe in trouble, you got Dublin Jerome turning that ball over again, second time in the second half.
Ball's at the 23 of the Celtics. Gibbon offset right of the quarterback. De Blasio, who will stick the ball in the belly of Gibbon, and he turns the corner to the far side, lowers the shoulder, and rumbles out of bounds, picking up a Davidson first down, a John Hinderer Dealers first down for the Davidson offense. And Gibbon a little slow getting up after the play.
He's got a cramping situation as well. I want you to watch the block on the outside by Drew Remlinger. Already 2 touchdown catches tonight. Number 88, look at the job he's doing there, controlling the corner. He's the one that creates the opportunity for number 21, Kevin Gibbon, to be able to turn it around and put him in business inside the 15-yard line.
And Jeff, he did a great job of keeping Matt Atwood away from that play. Atwood's had a big night tonight for that Jerome defense, and that will be the final play of quarter number 3. We go to the fourth period. Our Toyota Friday night rivals. It is a dandy, 14-7. Hilliard Davidson leads Dublin Jerome. We go to the fourth quarter. It's coming up next. Welcome back to Dublin Jerome High School, along with Jeff Logan and Kellyanne Stitz and our entire CW Columbus crew. Our producer extraordinaire, Dean Marini, and his great staff in the truck, showing you all the sights and sounds of this one. I'm Marty Bannister. 14-7, Hilliard Davidson with a touchdown advantage over Dublin Jerome in the first ever get-together on the football field between these two Northwest Columbus area Ohio Capital Conference rivals. First down and 10 upcoming from the 12. They'll hand the football off again, and the ball carrier bent backwards as trying to turn into the hole that time was Dane Schmidt. But Matt Atwood, we've called his name a number of times tonight on that Jerome defense. That was a big tackle right there.
Yeah, Dane Schmidt in there to replace Kevin Gibbon, who went out limping on the last play of the third quarter. Good jump cut here by the sophomore running back, and he too had a little bit of a difficulty in the third quarter. We'll see if they're going to run out of running backs. So you never have too many of them, Marty, when you're looking at being able to continue to pound the ball in this offense.
Another member of that Celtic defense who had a big stick in that hit was Seth Siddell, a 6', 190-pound senior linebacker. So there are two linebackers combined on the stop. And here's Schmidt again, trying to go airborne a little bit that time and is dropped. As penetration that time, Cale Huck came in and went low. and slowed down the ball carrier Schmidt.
Cale Huck could barely make it off the field there at the end of the third quarter as a running back, and not much rest for the wicked. You're right back there in the mess of things, having to play defense.
Big part of this game coming up here right now. A 3rd down and 7 call. The ball's at the Jerome 9. Davidson's lead stands at a touchdown. If you're Jerome, obviously you want to keep them out of the end zone, Jeff. 3 would be a somewhat of a victory for that defense. All things being equal, you'd love to come up with a turnover right here. Handoff goes to Schmidt, and he tries to move his way closer to the first down marker at the 2. He's brought down shy. Cale Huck again coming up to make the stop for Jerome. So now we'll see what Jeremy Scally wants to do. Andrew Lewis is 2 of 2 on field goal attempts this season. This would be basically an extra point attempt from this distance.
How big is that 2-point conversion that they had after they had their bad exchange on the first try for the extra point? They have not been successful yet tonight kicking a field goal or kicking an extra point. But this again, Marty, as you mentioned, is pretty much basically an extra point try.
So Andrew Lewis on to try the field goal. This will be a 26-yarder. Snap is good, the hold is good, the kick is up, and the kick is good. Andrew Lewis now 3 for 3 on the season, but there is a flag down. Hang on a second here. It was 4th and 5 at the 7. The Jerome players are indicating the penalty is against.
Might have been a cut block.
Hilliard Davidson, the penalty flag sponsored by the United States Army. John McKenna will tell us.
Block below the waist. Number 33 of the offense. 15-yard penalty. Repeat. 4th down.
Boy, that is a huge penalty there. Watch the top of your screen here. You're not allowed to block below the waist. This is for protection. Left side of your screen, right on the edge, number 33. And there you can see him go below the waist. He did exactly what he was supposed to do, sealed down, but you got to go at the waist or above when you make that play.
So this certainly changes the dynamics of everything of this play. The ball back to the 29. This now becomes a 39-yard field goal attempt, and that's a great shot right there. So we'll all watch it together. Snap is good. The hold is good. The kick is up. It has the distance, and it is good.
Wow.
Andrew Lewis, calm, cool, collected from distance. 39 yards and a field goal. And the lead expands to 10 points for Hilliard Davidson. The Wildcats now with a 10-point lead on Dublin Jerome. 9:41 to go in our Toyota Friday Night Rivals matchup.
Summer won't last forever, but during Toyota's national sales event, you can make memories that will.
Come on. There you go. Where's my mom? Just be in the moment.
Make some memories in a new best-selling RAV4 or electrified RAV4 hybrid and get APR financing as low as 3.99% plus 2 years no-cost maintenance. Toyota, let's go places.
17-7 is now the lead for Hilliard Davidson. The Wildcats with help from that young man, Andrew Lewis, his 39-yard field goal. The scoring summary brought to you by Alcohol, Drug, and Mental Health Board of Franklin County. 4 plays, 2 minutes and 43 seconds, and that field goal, that one was good from 39 plus.
Pretty impressive.
It was.
Man, you know, especially you come into this football game tonight, and we've been talking a lot about Carter Holden on the other side being the 5-star kicker. This is pretty special for Hilliard Davidson to be able to put their guy out there and make the big play.
The kick by Lewis coming down the field made a left turn and went out of bounds. So the Jerome offense will come back onto the field now.
With improved field position.
Just what they hoped for. Still plenty of time left in this game. 9:41 down 17-7. They have proven they can get the football down the field courtesy of that young man right there, number 1, Kyle White. But I think the key here, Jeff, is if you're Dublin Jerome, you have to score it, I think, somewhat quickly, because if you don't, then Hilliard Davidson gets the ball back. They can pretty much run this thing out.
Exactly. A big play there. And, you know, Kyle White needs to understand that he can go out there and run their offense. Their base offense has got enough balance in it to be able to run and throw the football. But they got to make sure that they continue to make first downs, and a little bit of urgency, I think, is part of what you're talking about.
And if you're Brett Glass and Kyle White, you have to like your field position, the 35-yard line here after that kick went out of bounds. White goes straight back to throw now, again with a load of time, but no one's open. He'll have to tuck the football and run, and falls ahead out across the 35, a short gain there out to the 37. That was thanks to the Davidson coverage more than anything else.
Connor Bolin again at that tackle position in there to help up quarterback Kyle White.
Jeff, if more than anything, you think about this game and the long-term effects of it as far as playoff points are concerned, that's one of the reasons this is such a big game looking down the road.
Absolutely.
2nd down and 8 after the 2-yard gain, although both teams, because of the lack of teams in their respective regions, are pretty much guaranteed to head towards the postseason. Here's Alford making the catch on a little turn-in route. A flag comes sailing in after Alford makes the catch, and he's dropped. Short gain out to the 39-yard line. Pickup of just a couple, but it might be coming back, and it is. Penalty flag sponsored by the United States Army.
It was interesting. The back judge, who was standing about 30 yards away, obviously had a great view. You can see the holding call.
On the offense, number 14. 10-yard penalty for the end of the run. Repeat 2nd down.
Of course, both of these teams play in districts with multiple high schools, and for both of them, they have huge games coming up next week. Hilliard Davidson gets their longtime rivals in Hilliard Darby, team they lost to last year 7-3, while Dublin Jerome makes the short drive over to Dublin Kaufman, a team they beat for the first time last year, Jeff, in 7 meetings. Both of these pretty intense rivalries.
Absolutely. Pretty special stuff. And again, not even getting into league play, with those games.
Still weeks away from that.
Pretty amazing.
So the focus coming into this one certainly key for both of these teams. One of the reasons why I think this has been such a good game. Here's Alford. What a nice move there as he breaks free, and he has some running room out to the 40 to the 41-yard line. What a move. That little zip-zag move right there at about the 30-yard line, and off he went and gets out across the 40 to the 41.
Boy, a really good job of making people miss. You're going to see the inside pass. This goes as a forward pass. Look at this move right here. Puts the foot in the ground, takes care of the football. That's shaking the sugar out there, son. That was pretty special.
I think I just invented a term right there, zip-zag.
Yeah, I like that.
You ever heard that one before?
Yeah, that's a brand new one.
I don't think it was an intentional, though. But it worked. 3rd down upcoming after the gain by Alford. 3rd down and 4, and whistles and flags and a timeout, though, called before everything else came flying in. The timeout called by Hilliard Davidson.
That's their first time out of the half.
$17-7 is our score here. A lot will happen in a day, so don't forget to tune in after the game to Central Ohio's most watched local news team for the final word on the day's top stories. Bob Kendrick and the entire crew will have everything for you that impacts you, your family, and community. ABC 6 News is on your side tonight at 11 o'clock. I liked it last week, Jeff, when we did our live hit. Bob got very excited about the Wotown Showdown when we were talking about that last week. He really got excited about that.
I walked into a business meeting earlier this week, and a guy walks up to me and goes, "Showdown in Wotown?" just out of the blue. I was like, trust me, I didn't create it, but I'll take it. Thanks for watching.
And see, some people that I ran into credited me for that. I had nothing to do with that.
I think
that was the folks in Worthington who did that. Ask Kellyanne, she'll tell you.
That had your fingerprints all over it.
No, it didn't. Here's Alford again, a nice move as he makes his way out across the 43 to the 44-yard line. That was something Kellyanne and I ran into when we got there last Friday. We were talking to some of the folks on the sideline, and they dropped that Wotown Showdown on us.
Hey, 4th and 1 here, right at the 44-yard line. 7:36 remaining, and like you mentioned, Marty, their biggest fear is if we kick it away, we may never get it back.
Clock starting to become a bit of an issue. 7:28 to go in the game. 7:25 as they bunch near the line of scrimmage. A crucial 4th down and 1. They'll go strong left on the formation. White takes a snap, plows ahead, and looks like he did get the first down. He did not get it by much, but he had enough to get the first down. And that's a Bowling Green State University first down for this Dublin Jerome offense. A badly needed first down to keep this drive alive as we near 7 minutes left in the game.
This is like, how many people can you get in a VW bus? I mean, they got everybody over there trying to block. That is just beautiful. Good play call there. Keeps the drive alive.
Did young Jeff Logan ever do that in college? Did you ever a part of that?
I'm sure.
Oh, okay. Back to throw is White, again with plenty of time. Now looks, will deliver over the middle, and a catch made by Zach Thomas, and he works his way to the 45-yard line where he is brought down. Again, White with a lot of time, and the check down receiver was Zach Thomas, and he carries to the Davidson 45.
A really good adjustment by Zach Thomas that time. Quarterback was in trouble, didn't find a receiver, and Zach Thomas just kept himself open, trying to come back to the quarterback and give him a chance to be able to dump the ball.
Play gain 9. Second down and 1 upcoming. Good look at that receiver, the 6'2", 180-pound senior Zach Thomas into the game with 3 catches. And here again is White to throw. Down the far sideline. It's a jump ball. It's caught for a touchdown into the end zone. Zach Thomas ran right down that far sideline, got behind the defensive back, and White put it right on the money in stride. 6 for the Celtics.
I don't know how you can play defense any better than that. That was a terrific throw by quarterback Kyle White, finding Zach Thomas for his first touchdown reception of the season. What a throw. Steps into it. I want you to watch how close the defense is on the play. Right there, perfectly thrown. Good target. And right now, the Celtics are dealing.
That's another Ramos Roofing touchdown. Get your free estimate on a roof by calling or texting 614-761-ROOF. And the extra point attempt is blocked, however. And the Davidson Wildcats will have a lead of 4 points, 17-13 with 6:13 to go. That can loom very large in this game. But Kyle White with a 45-yard scoring strike brings the Celtics close in our Toyota Friday Night Rivals.
Kicked it low.
Somebody got it.
Right?
Was it?
It was a low kick, I think.
Was it Turner Schmidt? A lot of little things loom large in a football game, and that blocked extra point could be very big in the way this one plays itself out. Instead of a 3-point deficit and perhaps getting the football back now with a potential chance to maybe tie the game, Jeff Logan, the Dublin Jerome Celtics are going to have to get the football back here and then score a touchdown to take the lead in this game. And our scoring summary from that last drive, 4 plays, 65 yards, almost 3.5 minutes, brought to you by Alcohol, Drug, and Mental Health Board of Franklin County.
Well, you got to be heads up for an onside kick here. You just never know what might happen in a situation like this. But breakdown in the special teams.
And here is the kick by Holden, and it will sail into the end zone. So with 6:13 to go in the game, the Davidson offense will come back onto the field.
You know, 2 big plays tonight in special teams. You've got the 2-point conversion, obviously, big for Davidson, and then you got the field goal. Watch again here, the extra point. Ball looks like it snapped good. You can see it right there. And there was pressure right up the middle. My goodness. It looked like.
I think that was Turner Schmidt who got there. Yeah, it was Turner Schmidt for Davidson. And Schmidt with that block. He returned a fumble last week. And the fumble was caused by his brother Davis Schmidt, who blocked a punt last week. So the Schmidts are having a big night. Kellyanne was telling us about that family and what they've been able to do for Hilliard Davidson, and doing it for Davidson here is Kevin Gibbon as he rumbles out across the 30 to the 33-yard line for a first down for the.
I don't think it's going to last long, though.
Coming back.
Look at him walking on his heels.
Kevin Gibbon with a big night. Here's Kellyanne.
Well, speaking of Kevin Gibson, I ventured over to the Hilliard Davidson sideline, and before, when he was missing snaps due to what appeared to be an injury, he looked at his coach. His coach was like, "Are you good?" He said, "I'm good." And he trotted back out there and is powering through. But as you guys mentioned, we'll see how long that lasts, but they could really use Kevin Gibson here in the final 5 minutes.
That first down carry a moment ago. A Bowling Green State University first down for the Davidson offense with 5:40 to go in the game. And keep a watch on that clock, lower right of your scoreboard there, because that becomes so big in this game, as we talked about earlier, with that missed extra point and with the Davidson ability to just grind and chew and punish a defense. That's where this game finds itself right now.
Boy, it becomes much harder, though, without Kevin Gibbon in the football game for them. We also saw Dane Schmidt go out with a little bit of an injury as well. Dane Schmidt's an interesting story. I mentioned a sophomore running back, 6', 195, but the kid put on 35 pounds over the winter.
I did that too, but not for the same reason. Here's Drew Remlinger coming to the near side tight. He's got a couple of touchdown receptions tonight. Johnny DeBlasio will work over center, hand off inside, and taking a couple of good pops, but a nice short gain is Dane Schmidt.
Boy, this is really where you rely on that offensive line, and look across the line, Blackley, Swathwood, Sparkman, Croakey, and Stewart, all really good ones up front.
Noah Ryan with the stop for Jerome. He's another one of those Celtic defenders. It's had a good night for Brett Glass's defense. 17-13, Davidson leading Jerome in this matchup between these two Ohio Capital Conference cross-division rivals. First time they've ever met on the football field. 4:18 to go in the game. Handoff goes to Dane Schmidt to the right side, and again, a couple of pretty good sticks. Did the ball pop free? It did, but Mickey Clark is there to fall on it.
They called him down.
They called him down, okay. Mickey Clark fell on the loose football for Hilliard Davidson.
All right, 1 yard to go for the first down. An interesting play call here if you're Jeremy Scally. I don't see how you can, the smarts on me tells you got to punt the football, all right, and trust your defense. I don't think you can afford to go ahead and give the football over here, but you have so much confidence in your ability to pick up 1 yard. We'll have to see what the call is.
And the ball at the 42-yard line, so if you are unable to come away with the first down here, Jerome will be in plus territory with almost 3 minutes left in the game.
They may delay a game here, let the clock run down, and then go ahead and punt it.
So now they will bring everyone together, and both sides will discuss this crucial fourth down and one call with 3:22 to go in this one here tonight at Dublin Jerome High School, with the lead at 4 for Hilliard Davidson at 17-13. Well, of course, what happens tomorrow in Bloomington, of course, is Ohio State and Indiana. And, of course, the Football Fever has you completely covered. Clay Hall and the entire Football Fever crew will be there to bring you all the highlights, interviews, and all you need to know. Bad moon rising over Bloomington. Buckeyes and the Hoosiers tomorrow. And the Football Fever at 11 o'clock. We'll get things started before the game kicks off at 3:30. A lot of scarlet, a lot of crimson. A whole lot of red.
It'll be hard to tell who owns that stadium until
it won't be hard.
But until you get to the fourth quarter, when you hear the OHIO going around that stadium and all the crimson and cream going home waiting for basketball season to get started.
You and I have had a number of opportunities to be over there for games.
Yes, sir.
Bloomington basically becomes Columbus West.
No doubt.
Here, Dublin Jerome trying to get the football back, facing a crucial 4th and 1.
Look at this.
Davidson will go for it. They'll load the backfield. They'll triple the backfield. Triple I behind Johnny DeBlasio, who works over center. Here we go. They turn the handoff. It's Gibbon, and if he got it, he didn't get it by much.
He got it.
That was close. And the Jerome coaches are all jumping up and down, pointing the other direction.
No, he got the first down. That was a great job by the offensive line, and you've got Gibbon to come into the football game for one more play. Can you give it to us? And here's the measurement, and, of course, the votes are split right down the middle now. They had to get the ball across the 43-yard line.
Wow, it is close. We're going to measure here. The chains are going to be brought out, and take a look at this. It is close, and I mean close. 3:17 left in the game. There was a lot of contact right around the line of scrimmage there. Gibbon trying to step through a hole. There wasn't much to step through, but the big man tried to bully his way for a first down. And immediately the Jerome coaches were all leaping and pointing the opposite direction. Here we go.
Pretty gutsy call by Jeremy Scally, but it gives you some idea of the confidence he has, not only in Kevin Gibbon running the football, but that offensive line.
The Wildcat paw on the football, and it is, as they stretch the chain, it is a first down.
Yeah, that's not going to be greeted very much by the Jerome fans. They've got a little problem with the chain over there. We may have to measure this again.
Okay, there was a problem. They're going to have to do it again, and they do stretch it out again, and it still stretches out to a first down. And you can see some very unhappy Celtic players.
You got to maintain your composure down there, and that's exactly what head football coach Brett Glass is telling his football team.
Big conversion right there with 3:17 to go in the game. And Davidson will keep the football, leading 17-13. The clock, certainly a major factor in this one, but keep in mind, Jerome does have 3 timeouts. And Jeff, if you're Brett Glass, when do you start burning those?
I'm a little bit surprised that they're going to go ahead and run the play so quickly.
De Blasio back to throw. It has a man wide open. And it's a first down gain deep into Jerome territory. And again, they go to the air when you think they're going to run the football. And guess who again? Drew Remlinger, who's got 2 touchdown receptions there with an enormous first down reception on that pitch and catch. And it's a first down Davidson.
Yeah, he came into the night with nothing. And he's got 2 touchdown catches and maybe one of the big first down plays of their senior season here. How about junior season for Drew Remlinger, 6'2", 215. Big night for that young man.
Play carries to the Jerome 33-yard line, a pickup of 18, and a huge, huge first down conversion, a Bowling Green State University first down for the Davidson offense as we near the 3-minute mark. Well, one of the things that Jeremy Scally said when we talked earlier in the week, getting back to that old Hilliard Davidson run, he was quick to say, though, remember, we run to set up the pass, Jeff, and that's what they've done in this game tonight.
Well, I really like the play calling. They have done a terrific job of balancing the throws. They came out throwing the football early, not consistently, but mixing it in at the right time, and a really good job that time. The fake up the middle, good job by quarterback Johnny de Blasio, and then lifting that ball to the open receiver Drew Remlinger. So see what the call is by the officials. Not sure what stopped the play there or stopped for information purposes. They are talking to both head coaches on the sideline, though. .306 remaining, 17-13. There's your quarterback. Johnny de Blasio's had quite a night.
Jeff, what's interesting, coming into the game, Johnny de Blasio was 5 of 7 throwing the football on the season. Our crack statistician Jason Van Hoos tells us he's 5 of 7 tonight throwing the football.
Isn't that something?
How about that?
I think they were trying to get the clock set right. It's 2:56 remaining. The play clock has yet to come up on the screen. Now we got 24 seconds. Now, if you're the quarterback, Johnny de Blasio here, you stare down that 24-second clock, and you do not snap the ball until it gets down to about 2 seconds.
De Blasio over center. There's movement up front, and a penalty right there as jumping across that front line, trying to get a quick step.
Dead ball.
Was Corbin Wilson.
Encroaching on the defense, number 67. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
And that penalty flag sponsored by the United States Army. That was a crucial penalty right there.
One of these days I will share my opinion on encroachment in high school football. I think it's one of the worst penalties that they have.
I think Brett Glass would agree with you right now. 2:29 to go. It's a 1st and 5 for Davidson at the Jerome 28-yard line. They eye the backfield behind Johnny de Blasio, doing exactly what Jeff Logan said. Watching that play clock wind its way down. Right now it's at 17. As he patiently waits, now steps over center. They'll put Schmidt in motion, Turner Schmidt, tight to the far side of the field. Play clock continuing to wind down. De Blasio turns, hands off. Here's Gibbon to the right side. And Gibbon from the 28-yard line, gets to the 25-yard line.
Jerome's going to start having to.
Yeah, we'll call timeout here, Jeff.
They're going to have to burn him at this point.
That first charge timeout of the half.
We have had a big night for a number of players on that Hilliard Davidson offense, but perhaps the biggest has belonged to the tight end, the 6'2", 215-pound junior Drew Remlinger, who coming into this game didn't have a catch. Look at those numbers tonight. 3 receptions, 41 yards, a couple of scores, and they were all immense plays. The 2 touchdown receptions and the one we saw a moment ago, Jeff, for a much-needed first down right there.
Boy, that was pretty special. Is that all you got for me, young man? I mean, come on. 3 receptions, 41 yards, 2 touchdowns. The guy that owned the first half obviously was Stephen Gibbon in terms of his running the football. But the difference maker and the Friday Night Rivals player of the game, no doubt about it, Drew Remlinger.
He has had a heck of a night for this Davidson offense. And when we talked at the top of the broadcast about what this game meant for both of these teams and the outcome, and when you start thinking along the lines of computer points and all the other ancillary things that come with it, from a confidence standpoint and from a hey, we're back standpoint, Davidson will be very happy with the way this one turns out if it hangs the way it does. Backs are in the eye. Here's Gibbon right through a hole. Gibbon's on his way to the 20, and he is shouldered down inside the 20 at the 17-yard line. Again, you see him hobbling a little bit as he gets up after that play.
Another timeout for Jerome, and he looks like a wounded soldier down there. And you feel badly for the young man, but that's what the cramping situation does.
Again, 17-13, Davidson nursing this lead. The Dublin Jerome High School Marching Band did put on quite a show earlier tonight during halftime. This look in on their performance is sponsored by Music Go Round Marching Band Sound. Check out any of their locations, 2630 Bethel Road and in Gehanna inside the Stone Ridge Plaza. There's the orb.
Uh-oh.
Getting close.
Guess who's in town?
Our Friday Night Rivals trophy, the beloved orb. Kellyanne Stitz gets the honor of handing that out to the team that wins our Friday Night Rivals matchup. And it is an honor to hand it out.
Oh, I would think so.
Sure.
I've done this for a number of years, and as I mentioned to you before, I have yet to touch the orb. And you wanted to go lift it up and grab it, didn't you?
I'm not going to lift anything. Unless it's a plate of pizza. Backs in the eye. De Blasio over center. Will turn and hand it off. And they work to the right side. And a gain there. That was James Tarantine, who has his first offensive touch of the football tonight. If you were with us at the intermission, we showed you Tarantine was our featured student athlete during our halftime session. And head coach Jeremy Scally told me earlier in the week that Tarantine is the consummate teammate. This young man, Jeff, is headed either to West Point or to Annapolis.
Not bad choices.
Not bad.
Not bad choices at all. I've had the opportunity for a number of years to serve on the Columbus chapter of the National Football Foundation and College Hall of Fame. And to see some of the kids that have come through that have gone on to the service academies to play is just remarkable, to be able to do that, make that happen, and be able to go out and get a great education, obviously, play the great game of football, and then to be able to serve your country. It's just absolutely outstanding.
As the proud parent of a couple who have served in both of those branches, I wholeheartedly agree, and either West Point or Annapolis would be fortunate to have James Tarantine.
So what do you do Army-Navy Day?
Whoever has the ball.
No, what do you do?
Whoever has the ball. Honest to goodness, whoever has the ball. We watch the game, whoever has the ball. So
you're cheering for.
No, yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You've got one of both.
Thanksgiving is very interesting.
I can only imagine.
Very interesting when the Army and the Navy are in the same house. Again, they triple eye the backfield behind de Blasio with 1:45 left in the game. They'll hand it off again. This is Tarantine to the right side, and he is brought down.
Marty, you've been part of the greatest rivalry in sport, the Ohio State-Michigan game for all those years. Mm-hmm. But personally, you've lived that Army-Navy thing. Which one is more, I'm not saying, which one is?
Go ahead and ask me, I'll tell you.
Which one's?
Army-Navy. It's not even close.
Come on.
It's not even close.
Is it really?
Not even close.
I mean, that is inbred in those guys and gals over there.
It is not even close.
Hate Army, hate Army, hate Navy.
You don't even mention the other one. 70 seconds left in this one. This has been a good one tonight. Hilliard Davidson, Dublin Jerome, a 4-point lead for Davidson. Couple of touchdown passes to Drew Remlinger. And a big field goal, a 39-yarder by Andrew Lewis. That's the difference in this game right now.
The third and final charge timeout of the half.
Davidson takes their third timeout with exactly 1 minute left in this game here at Dublin Jerome.
I don't know if you noticed, but Caden Wilson was out there as part of the offensive attack because they've got so many bodies that are on the sideline right now, not able to go full go, but what a football game this has been. First ever meeting of these two schools, and they'll do it again next year at Hilliard Davidson, and hopefully this will be one of those rivalries that they will continue to renew in the future.
We'd like to thank all the folks here at Dublin Jerome for their hospitality. They've been so very accommodating. Jay Schwanke and his staff, we appreciate everything that they have done for our broadcast tonight. And it has been a enjoyable visit to Dublin Jerome High School.
Ohio State, Indiana tomorrow. Ohio State a 30-point favorite over there. They've named their quarterback. You like the Buckeyes to cover?
No.
What?
No, I'm sorry. I just don't.
You think it'll be under 30?
I think it will be. Indiana has 45 new players on that roster, Jeff.
Yep. They don't even know what
45.
They don't even know what crimson is.
1 minute to go in the game. Backs are in the eye. Hilliard Davidson trying to salt this one away, but now a penalty flag comes in.
Dead ball. Full start on the offense. Number 53. 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
That flag presented by the United States Army. That will move the ball back and bring up now a third down and 11. So again, we're getting into rather interesting territory here for Hilliard Davidson. Go back to that blocked extra point. A big roll right now where we stand in this game at 17-13. And again, they will power the backfield behind the quarterback. De Blasio over center. They'll hand it off. This is Gibbon. And he is grabbed and brought down as he tried to power ahead. Will Albright, 6'3", 210-pound senior defensive end, grabbed him around the shoulder pads and rode him down to the field turf.
Now the clock will continue to run. No timeouts remaining now. So 29 seconds remaining on the play clock. About 12 seconds separate the game clock. So they can take it down, run that fourth down.
Again, the Celtics are out of timeouts now. Both teams are out of timeouts as the clock continues to spin. There is a 5-second difference, play clock, game clock. And so a delay coming up here with 14 seconds now left on the clock.
And they'll take the delay of game.
Delay of game. Hilliard Davidson, offense, 5-yard penalty.
Jeremy Scally coming into this game as a head coach overall, 22 up and 22 down, 16 and 18 at Hilliard Davidson after taking over as the replacement for Brian White. And interesting to do right here, Jeff, the mindset of Johnny de Blasio and his Hilliard Davidson offense. What do you do on this
Well, I think
play?
you run a sweep play here, something that's going to take as much time as you possibly can, but they are lined up in that triple I formation, which is usually a dive.
14 seconds left. De Blasio over center. He'll turn and hand it off to Gibbon to the right side, and he has played it right away as he was knocked off his feet and down. Matt Atwood, that young man has laid on some serious licks tonight defensively, and that stop will give Jerome the ball back with 10 seconds left, but they are 81 yards away from the end zone. Watch Atwood.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if you that's a classic tackle. It makes you wonder if you would have just swept a little bit one side or the other, used up another 5 or 6 seconds on that play clock. But this is going to give Jerome at least one try throwing the ball deep. You can see the defensive secondary for Hilliard Davidson. They're not even in your picture right now. If we can pan back, look how deep that defensive secondary is. Come on, keep coming, keep coming.
there
they are.
Almost in a different area code. I would imagine we will see the old hook and lateral here coming up. White takes the snap, goes back to throw, sets, fires over the middle, and here we go. There's one catch, a lateral ball dropped on the field, and that will do it. Davidson has the football. They got the ball in the middle of the field, and they were starting to run the hook and lateral, and the ball squirted free after the initial catch was made. And just like that, Hilliard Davidson will get the ball back. The catch was made there by Zach Thomas. He tried to lateral it back to a teammate. The ball pops free. Davidson recovers, and with 2 ticks left on the clock, that will do it. And Hilliard Davidson will win this matchup tonight with Dublin Jerome, as both teams have huge district rivalry matchups on the horizon, as they both tomorrow night will, or next Friday night rather, will take on district rivals, as Davidson will take on Darby, and the Jerome Celtics will make the short trip over to Kaufman High School, and that is it. Hilliard Davidson wins a good one here tonight at Dublin Jerome by the score of 17-13. Hopefully this will be one of those series that continues.
Yeah, gutsy performance by both teams. Both teams having an opportunity, and the special teams play tonight. We talk about the importance of the kicking game. An early error by Davidson with a snap. They're able to come back with a 2-point conversion. Then you get a blocked extra point try. And how about the 41-yard? Was it 41-yard field goal?
39.
39.
It could have been
field goal.
40 plus.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
It was terrific there to give Hilliard Davidson the final 3 points of the night.
What a game here this evening at Dublin Jerome High School, with the final score 17-13. Davidson over Jerome. It was a good one tonight. Your Toyota Friday Night Rivals matchup.
Toyota's national sales event is on. Make the most of summer with a new Toyota.
We want the gray Tacoma.
Great Tacoma coming in hot.
On it! Highlander Hybrid.
Highlander Hybrid on the double hang.
Here we go. That red RAV4.
Run a red RAV4.
Hit the deck.
Now that's how you holler.
Make some off-road memories in a legendary new 4Runner or the best-selling Tacoma, which you can get with 3.99 APR financing plus 2 years no-cost maintenance.
Come in today.
Toyota, let's go places.
Handshakes between the two teams. A good high school football game here this evening goes to Hilliard Davidson by the final of 17-13. The Wildcats improved to 3-0 with 3 pretty impressive wins to begin the season. A shutout of Columbus West, a rout of a very good Grove City team last week, the 10th straight time they have beat Grove City. And then they come on the road again tonight and beat a unbeaten Dublin Jerome team by the final of 17-13. Jerome falls to 2-1 with a defeat. Down to the field now, and here's Kellyanne Stitz.
Hey guys, I'm joined by Coach Scally and the team. And Coach, how does this one feel tonight? First ever meeting against Dublin Jerome, and you guys were able to dominate.
Yeah, just super proud. That's a very gutsy championship caliber slugfest with a really good program, really well coached. They know how to win, and our effort was where I wanted it to be. Couldn't be more proud of these dudes.
Drew Remingler had no catches heading in tonight, then had 2 big touchdown catches and a huge first down. Talk about his effort tonight.
Listen, it's a team game. You can talk about the catch. I would talk about the pass protection before I would talk about the catch. And then you talk about our defense. It's a team game. I love Drew. I hope things are clicking for Drew. He's got a bright future ahead of him, but team.
Team, but I also do really want to highlight Kevin Gibbon. He was able to, your workhorse, and he was able to gut it out there at the end to help with the win. Just talk about how him and his ability to just do that.
Yeah, he's a fun little project for me, but love the dude. He loves his teammates. He cares about this program. And towards the end there, it was just like, all right, Kev, it's big boy time. Let's see what you got. And he answered the bell.
But again, a team win, so I'm going to present you guys with what we refer to as the orb lovingly. So congratulations. Where are you guys going to put this one?
We got a trophy case in our locker room. We'll add this to it.
There you go, Kellyanne. That's
Great
what it's
job.
all about. Be safe, young lady.
Absolutely. And when he said team, Jeremy Scally, there you go. That's
Exactly.
team right there. And I love that, calling Kevin Gibbon a fun little project. That's a heck of a project to work on right now. Here's the math in tonight's game. And for the most part, almost even between the two teams. The yardage number separated by about 40 yards. Turnovers were big. Davidson turns the ball over 3 times. It's not often you cough it up 3 times to come away with a win, Jeff.
Boy, no kidding. Obviously not much in passing yards there, but what they did passing-wise was very efficient. Great job in terms of getting the ball into the end zone, scoring the football when you needed to. They got plenty of things that these coaches can do between week 3 and week 4 when they take on their rivals.
That fun little project, Kevin Gibbon had 32 carries for 157 yards tonight for Hilliard Davidson. For Dublin Jerome, Kyle White, 14 of 22, 206 yards, a couple of scores, and an interception. We will be with you next week in Pickerington, and that one will be fun, to say the very least. Pickerington North, Pickerington Central gather next Friday night in the Battle of Pickerington. We'll have it for you right here. It's your Toyota Friday Night Rivals. Our coverage will start with the kick at 7 o'clock. It was a fun one here tonight. Thank you very much to all the folks here at Dublin Jerome for their hospitality. Good football game won by Davidson by the final of 17-13. Again, we're back with you next week, presented by Columbus State Community College. We'll be at Pickerington Central as the Tigers and Panthers get together from that matchup next week. We're looking forward to it as we have that one for you next week as Pickerington North and Pickerington Central get together. From Dublin Jerome High School tonight, on behalf of Jeff Logan, Kellyanne Stitz, our entire CW broadcast crew, I'm Marty Banos. We're saying thanks so much for being with us. One more time, the final score tonight. Hilliard Davidson wins a thriller. They go to 3-0 by hanging on for a 17-13 win over Dublin Jerome. We'll see you from Pickerington next Friday night on Toyota Friday Night Rivals.
All right. Coach Scally, a nice win tonight for you guys, 17-13 over Dublin Jerome in your first meeting. A big team win. What did you like from your guys tonight?
Really